Fuck! Why did that not move? Dodge.
Alright, we're live.
Alright,
We're live. We're live. At least we should be. Let me double check this. Let me double check this. Alright, welcome everybody.
Alright,
welcome everybody.
welcome,
So we're gonna be playing Remnant from the Ashes. And we'll be playing the second one next week. Or whenever. I think next week is when we'll start the next one. But today is a special little stream. We're going to be talking about modern gaming. I love
modern
video games. Modern video games. I'm gonna check the audio real quick. Let's hold up 1 second.
No problem.
Looks like I got some echo. Coming from somewhere. 1 second. Did that fix it? I think that might have fixed it. Let me check real fast. Yeah, I fixed it. We're good.
Are we?
Yeah, I had a filter on that was doing that for some reason. But anywho, I'm gonna try to do something real fast. E and I are trying to get a trophy.
Yeah, we're trying to see if we can get a trophy real quick that we haven't gotten.
But I think we're gonna start the topic off. Do we have anybody here right now? Maybe not. Maybe yes. Hey, what's up, T Studios? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. So, when it comes to, we're going to start off with Diablo 4. Just because there's a lot of drama going on Diablo 4. I personally have not played, other than
the
beta.
Server slam.
But I've heard a lot about it, and it does not make me want to buy the game. So I'm looking at it from a person that has been watching stuff on the game in general. E has played quite a bit of it. He's
played. I don't think I've played as much as it says I've played. I think it says I have like 600 hours in it.
600 hours? Oh my god!
Something ridiculous.
So. You left your PlayStation on.
Probably.
You got 2 tattoos? Badass, bro. You have to.
But I've leveled a character to 100, and I'm level 30 on season 1.
So, I guess we'll start off what you like about the game, E. Just to keep it positive, kind of do both the mix and positive and negatives for the games in general.
I mean, the initial base of the game is fun. I like the story. Story's great. For a Diablo game, I was actually kind of impressed. I think playing through it one time and doing things the first time is actually really enjoyable. However, the end game is pretty non-existent. The leveling grind is stupid, and but the game is relatively fun. I like the bosses. The bosses are a lot more enjoyable because I don't know if anyone's familiar with watching videos and topics or whatever, but if you've watched like the Ackman's video,
Swiss,
I would very much agree with him that with Ackman, he said that the boss design where they actually have telegraphed moves and you can actually avoid them and it's not just going head to head like Diablo 2 is pretty nice. Yeah. So that's a good thing.
I've seen gameplay of the game. Like I've pretty much watched like hours of streams on it. I was
trying not to be negative, but I already kind of said a couple negative things.
Well, that's the hard part. I think it's pretty difficult. My opinion with this new patch, my opinion is that should have been the way the game launched.
Well, the new patch was terrible. The new patch was terrible because it changed everyone's build. You had a build, and if you thought it was good, which mine wasn't, I already knew. But if you thought it was good, you just lost a big chunk of your damage and your survivability, and it was an awful patch at an awful time.
Well, you coming from you didn't want to do a meta build.
I didn't do a meta build at all, and I'm not a I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a casual gamer, so like obviously I put a lot more time into it than most people would. Um, so looking at it from a casual perspective, like, oh, they probably would have stopped playing at level like 70. So that
70.
patch, if I was in the middle of being like level 70 and I had that patch happen, I would have been pissed. I luckily got to level 100 on my main character right before the patch.
So the thing I don't understand is the whole XP thing. I don't understand what they were thinking to essentially half the XP you're getting than before.
Well, I understand the reasoning, assuming they do what they say they're going to do. I just don't. It's not out yet. The newest patch that's supposed to fix things has not happened yet, and I don't know if it's going to be good enough.
Is it going to fix the XP?
It's supposed to increase the monster density, which should increase the DLC or DLC, increase the XP.
Increase the XP. Well, still, my opinion from somebody who has not actually bought the game or played the game, damage is done.
Well, the thing is the biggest problem is they released the patch. They didn't say why, and it just straight up looks like a straight up nerf. I mean, it is a straight up nerf to the experience games, especially for end game, and they didn't communicate as to at the beginning of any reason why they did it. And
like
it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started about the unique.
Played Diablo 4 yet? I'm curious to see who's all actually played it.
If Bailey's there, I know he has.
I know he was here earlier. He was in chat, but I don't know if he's here right now. I know Bailey, but I don't know how much he's actually played. He said he actually beat the game, or
I'd imagine he beat the story. He's like level like 50 or 60. Yeah, he beat the game because he had to get that far.
But to go back, remember back in the day, guys, when I said that there's going to be a lot of issues with Diablo? Nobody believed me.
Now, if you want controversial takes, and assuming with the topic that we have at hand with modern video games, I would say one of the biggest issues I have is how every game, and it's only going to get worse from what I've heard, is all these games that are being a live service and always online.
I
am not a fan because it's very rare that you feel accomplished.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm not a fan of live service being in a full price game. I'm okay with the free to play because they got to make their money some way. But
yeah, that makes sense.
I am not okay with a full $70 game. You haven't played it yet? Yeah. Well, you're not missing. It's a 50-50 on that game right now. It's a 50-50. If you like story, it's good, but Diablo's not really. It's meant to be a seasonal game, and they're kind of screwing the pooch when it comes to that right now. I say if it was like $30, I would totally buy it. I don't play Diablo for the story. That's me. I don't play it. I play to min-max.
He was at the end of his health. Sorry, guys.
Right now we're trying to beat a boss without taking damage in offline mode for a trophy. I got 2 more trophies to get platinum. Then we're gonna do DLC in this game. But what I was saying is like, I don't play Diablo for the story. Yeah, the story's cool and all, but that only gets you so far. You can beat that game in probably less than 20 hours if you just did the campaign by itself. Maybe less than that.
If you just speedran the campaign, I don't know how fast it would be, but it would be pretty darn fast. I mean, it still takes a while. It is by far the longest campaign in a Diablo game.
The problem I don't like is the leveling is a big turn-off for me. It's a huge turn-off. It's like, I don't want to... Like, even leveling in Diablo 2 was really bad.
Oh, you
but they didn't have... Like, I understand Diablo 2, it's an old game. They didn't have Paragon points like this game does. The Paragon points, I think, is stupid, where you were saying you max at level 100, you don't get any more Paragon points.
Yeah, there's a hard cap to your power in Diablo 4. Just like I'm pretty sure Diablo 2 is the same way. But Diablo 2, I've gotten nowhere near high level.
You've maxed out your first character though.
On Diablo 4, yes, but not Diablo
Diablo 4,
2.
Diablo 3. Diablo 2, no.
That's
It's
so
kind of a
rough.
different. It's kind of a different game
Oh, it
in
is.
general. It's not meant to be a horde
Well, it's got
destroyer game.
seasons too, which is insane.
Well, no, well that's the new one. The other one didn't. I'm pretty sure it didn't have Well, I don't know. It's been so long. Quote me if I'm wrong. I don't remember the original Diablo 2 having seasons. I really
It
don't.
did after a while, but it took a while.
I know the new one has seasons, but I don't really. We haven't dabbled in that yet, and I'm not planning on to anytime soon. Just because the leveling is a little
Oh,
bullshit.
I did! Hell yeah! Boom! I, I
Like,
wasn't using my swarm ability.
well, I've done it, but I didn't do it in the right mode. That's
I,
stupid.
I wasn't using my swarm ability,
I
so I wasn't using
think
my
I'm
ability
at
that
the
does so much damage.
boss. I think I'm at the boss. Maybe.
Sorry, guys, for that burst. I was excited, that's all.
But what are your what do you think's gonna make or break this game right now? The Diablo 4E.
I think the two biggest things are if they're going to increase the end game enough soon enough. Also, fixing the basic parts of the game that are broken. Um, which is like it's a mixed bag because they got to fix it because it's not fixed, it's broken. With like
Yeah.
resistances, if you've watched Asmongold or any other popular streamers out there, um, totally agree. They should never have launched like that. That's kind of stupid. The fact that they're adding items that increase resistances even though they still are broken is silly.
Oh,
Makes
like
no sense to me.
the hearts from the
No, it's
season.
not even the hearts because the heart's a seasonal mechanic. I mean, it's still stupid, but not even that because that's only one heart for one class. I don't even care. I'm not that class.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just the fact that it just
What's a sorcerer?
launched broken. Yeah, it's sorcerer has the heart. I think that does that.
What are
I'm a
you playing for this
necromancer.
necromancer? That's right. It's only good class.
Um, um. So I would say it should never have launched in that state. I think like it's funny because if you watch Asmongold's videos and stuff and other people's videos like the that actually address that issue, they'll say like, oh, they need to fix it, and if they fixed it, it would be better. I'm kind of worried, and I have a different idea because I'm worried that since they haven't fixed it and they're not going to be able to fix it until either season 2
Well,
or maybe even season 3. I don't know exactly what their timeline is because they're not
well,
very confident, like they're not very set in stone of when they're going to fix it. But
when
if they
has
fix it, the game's not going to be balanced anymore. It's going to fuck up the balance of the whole game again. So they're going to be at square one all over again, and that's what worries me.
that's what I was about to
So
say
I
is
don't.
when
So far, I don't have faith in them to fix it and then be able to fix the game again without fucking pissing off everyone again.
yeah, well, when has any uh Activision Blizzard game ever been better after their patch? Let's take Call of Duty for example. Every time Call of Duty did an update, something broke significantly. Like let's say like connecting, like they didn't like in what was it? Cold War? We had nothing but issues for the whole season just playing with each other the whole time. Every game we get kicked out or we couldn't find each other in our friends
Oh, I've
lists.
never had multiplayer work ever correctly.
And
Um,
then as soon as everybody stopped playing the game, they stopped doing updates. It worked. So it didn't make sense. But yeah, every time that Activision or Blizzard does an update to their game, they think they're fixing it, but they're really missing the point. They're they fix something but break something instead. That's what, as you were saying.
another funny issue is I don't
Oh,
know
I don't want
if
to fight this
Bailey is still
boss.
here or not, but he mentioned in the chat if everyone can still read it. He mentioned at the very beginning that the pro
Oh,
is that
my name
there's
is.
new people working on things and that can have new ideas and stuff. And that's a good thing. But at the same time, I think in Diablo's 4 case, I would make an argument to say it's actually that might be one of the biggest faults because I feel like one of the things that seems to be happening, it's hard to tell, but what seems to be happening is it seems like Diablo 4 was made by people that knew what they were doing that worked on Diablo 3 when they started. So they had made a base game that was good. I mean, like the base game, especially when you first start, it's really fun. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed myself the first playthrough and most of it.
And I enjoyed the beta. I enjoyed the beta.
Yeah, and the beta wasn't too bad either. We were able to beat the world boss, and it was pretty challenging, but we did it. But yeah, and it feels good. The game does feel good. Like it's just the end game that sucks, and leveling to 100 is ridiculous. It's just so much XP.
See, that's the point of when I play Diablo games. I play for the end game completely. I don't care about story. You know how I am.
Oh yeah, no, I know. But my argument is that I feel like they made a base game, it was good, and then I feel like a lot of the team has quit and they're getting new people, and I feel like the new people have no fucking clue as to what they're doing with this base game, and I don't feel like they even understand it. Like they're talking about saying like, oh, we realized vulnerable damage is too powerful, so we gotta change that. And the way they changed it did not fix it, it made it worse because they're stupid and don't understand how it works, it seems like. Everyone knew that plays the game, all the hard work. Oh, well, the thing is vulnerable damage is a multiplicative bucket, so it multiplies. It's like crit. In D3, crit chance like drastically multiplies your damage. That's what vulnerable damage does as well. So there's instead of Diablo 3 just has crit and base attack, Diablo 4 has vulnerable, crit, and base attack. So if you want the big numbers, you have all three. My build never had vulnerable, so my build sucks for my original character. But I knew that going into it. But the problem is instead of what they needed to do is move vulnerable to like additive damage instead of multiplicative damage. They just made it so you couldn't get as much vulnerable damage. But it's all based off of percentages and how much of each attack you have that multiplies that makes it bigger. So it really doesn't change anything. You still need it if you want the big damage. So they didn't fix anything with that, and it's kind of stupid. And everyone that streams the game and like no life's the game and will play it, they can tell you, and they'll all say that they know that you still need it, and it's still very important. And Blizzard was the only people that are going like, "Oh, this is gonna fix things." No, it didn't fix a thing. So,
yeah, I mean, I still miss the days where it was just your basic stat. I think they just put too many stats in the game. Here's Bailey, by the way. If you want to ask Bailey some questions.
There's so many freaking things.
You want to read what Bailey said?
They said they haven't hired new people yet.
Oh, they haven't hired new people yet?
The people that changed, I won't say that word, I don't want to get in too much trouble here. That changed vulnerable damage for Activision side of things. And they just mentioned they've had people. I don't know. I thought I've heard that they did fire and got new people like mid-development, like not like when it came out. I'm talking about like mid-development. I heard that they fired people, got new people, and now they're getting new people again because people are quitting. I feel like.
He and I don't claim to know how to make a game, but.
Oh yeah, I'm not any developer, and I'll be the first to say that I understand the perspective of like changing things especially when it comes to like we just discussed with Activision and Blizzard. When they change something, they usually fuck something up. So I get their hesitancy to actually change things, but the problem is that their process is so slow that if they're not gonna, they can't make the game better quick enough for people to be interested, especially the casuals. I don't know. The only thing I can think of a casual person that's still playing Diablo 4 is because they haven't gotten far enough to realize the big faults.
Exactly. It doesn't feel like a casual game anymore.
I feel like.
Well, I feel honest, like it's like the biggest problem.
The biggest theme that
Activision's really the big problem here.
The biggest theme I've seen with people, especially like the people that know life the game and everything, all of them will almost at one point have at least hinted towards the actual truth of the matter. And the fact is, Diablo 4 is a game where the more you play, the more you learn to hate it. The more you learn to despise certain things about it. But it starts off really good.
I really loved Destiny when it first came out, but Oh, we'll
Oh,
get to
Destiny
Destiny
has
later.
become
We'll
a
get to Destiny later. Okay.
microtransaction hell.
We'll get to Destiny later. We'll ask Squish what he thinks of Destiny since he's,
Oh, I don't know if he's still playing, but he was a big player,
you
definitely.
know. But anyhow, yeah, there's. I really don't know what they could do right now to make it better. I think they're. Let's just hope Path of Exiles is good. It looks really good. I've heard, like, E and I heard mixed things about the game so far, but it's still got a year. But watch it, Diablo. You got something coming up that might blow you out of the water. And the other thing that really upsets me is these people that are trying to defend the game. Like, don't defend a bad game. If it's bad, don't defend it. They're trying to say, "Oh, it's a brand new game." Like, yeah, Diablo is a brand, like Diablo 4 in general is a brand new game. But how long have they been making Diablo games? Like what, 20 years?
Not sure.
Close to. So with all that experience and all that billions of dollars they have, how is something like, say, Path of Exile is doing better than they are right now? When Path, I don't know how big, I don't know the creators behind Path of Exiles. I don't really play it. I've tried it, but I I don't feel like that's an excuse for this company to do this. New people or not, I don't know. That's just my take on it. What are your thoughts on that, E?
Oh, sorry. What was that? I got distracted. In my game.
I was saying pretty much just a Diablo, the people, Blizzard has been making Diablo for years. You know, Diablo 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever games have been making ever since.
Mortal.
The thing I get upset about is all these people trying to defend it. It's like, oh, it's a brand new game. Give them time. It's like,
Oh no, no.
they should have a very good idea of what to do with their game since they've been doing this for 20 years for that genre of game, where like something like Path of Exiles does 10 times better than they do. I know people say they get upset that you compare them, but they're essentially the same kind of game. One's free to play, one's full price, $70.
The only difference is Diablo's trying to do some open world thing with some MMO light mechanics that make no sense in the genre.
It's a joke. It's a joke. To be honest, the MMO thing is a joke when it comes to that game. This game, from what I saw, there's no community whatsoever. The open world, like if you guys want to watch something interesting, go watch the Ackman's take on it. It's really good. Was it why Diablo 4 is so bad?
It's a pretty good video.
It's a pretty good. He's gonna do better than we do. So I've been watching him for years, but definitely go check him out. He'll have more say so. We're new to this whole like debate thing, but we got a lot of games to talk about. But anyway, what's anything we can wrap up this game on? You think we're missing topics?
I guess the thing that I'll say, because coming from a different perspective than Hunk, because like he said, he's only done the beta. I mean, he did describe a little bit of his experience there, but like the game itself is not terrible, especially the first playthrough. It's fun. It's a good game, in my opinion. It's just they don't know how to balance. They just don't know how to balance their game. Seasons are kind of messed up. Like when you compare seasons for Diablo 4 to like Diablo 3, for example, they are night and day difference. Because me and Hunk, we've played Diablo 3. We have a couple videos from the past. You might have seen them. If not, you can always check them out. They're probably there somewhere. We got that game.
Yeah, we do with Bailey too.
Like, yes, we're a little bit more hardcore gamers, but at the same time, even for us, like,
well, I'm a dad, so I don't get I don't play
he doesn't.
Anymore.
Yeah, Hunk doesn't play as much anymore, and when we've played Diablo 3, I said we have a pretty good understanding. We have a good understanding of many games. We're we play all sorts of different genres and stuff.
We've been playing forever,
yeah. So like we can't say we're casuals. Even when we don't play that much, we can't necessarily say we're casual gamers.
We're OGs.
But at the same,
we're at the same, pre-ordered Demon Souls on PS3. So there you go.
Yeah, that was a fun game too. But I remember I kind of raged a little bit more than he did, but I got good at it. I got better. I'm not the best. He's above me. Hunk is good. I'm moderate. But enough
you are
work to play.
better. You are better when it comes to RPG single
Oh, I
player
love
games than I ever
RPGs.
will be in
Yes.
my life. I'm better at competitive, like shooters or anything competitive. That doesn't require my brain to function.
And so we can't say we're casuals, but at the same time, like Diablo
Bailey does
3,
have
if
a
you know
defense.
when you do Diablo 3, if you've played it, and you know what you're doing, we can level characters up. Even there was one time where we all started from one. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
at least
speed
one
level
time.
that shit.
Well, one time we got carried, but one time that we did it, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure we did it from the start, and we didn't
it's like
get
4
carried
hours.
or boost leveled or anything. And we literally, like, it was either the same day or like the second day. Within 2 playing sessions, we were max level. Granted, your
Mm.
Paragon goes infinitely, but we were max level. Diablo
Okay, this
4,
is.
you
Mhm.
got these people that know life, that all they do is stream, so they play like 12 to 18 hours a day for a week to try to get to level 100, min-maxing and doing shit I would never do because it's boring as all hell.
All right,
And
I'm gonna let you
mm,
do talk to Bailey's defense since you know more about the game. So, which we're all fine. Defenses are good. I'm glad people you love the game you like. I want people to like Diablo 4. I really do.
so you're saying oh, I just realized Swiss says he hasn't been playing Destiny as much. I don't
Oh,
blame
you
you.
haven't played Destiny much.
Um, what's sad about
We'll get to that.
Destiny?
We'll get to it.
We'll
We'll
get
get
to
to
that
it. We'll
too,
get
but I
to
was
it.
just
We'll
gonna
get to
make a
it.
small comment that
Oh, I
like
fucking
I
hate this
bought
boss.
the
Oh.
New Year content and I played. I didn't even finish the whole season, which is unusual for me because I spent money on it. I'm like, I have to finish it. I didn't even finish it. I have no desire to even finish go to any other
I thought it
seasons or
was
do any
pretty
content
cheap
in
that they
there.
made you pay for the season just to get your final thing, but we'll
Oh
get
yeah, I had
there.
to. Well, not season the year, but yeah. Um, but so Bailey says they you feel like World Tier 1 and 2 need to be nerfed. See, this is the problem. And this is how you can agree or disagree, but it's my opinion. The problem is I don't feel like the tiers need to be nerfed. I feel like their characters need to be better balanced. Pure and simple. Because like you said, you were playing as Druid. Druid is a I haven't played Druid, but all I've heard is Druid is one of the hardest and one of the most awful leveling experiences in Diablo 4.
Oh fuck.
I don't know personally because I haven't done it. I was a sorceress. I was
Oh, it's like
easily leveling, no challenge at all. I would be like, if you watch the Ackman's video, he says that difficulty is non-existent, and that's how I felt. There was no difficulty in tiers 1 or 2 for me. Right now, as a necromancer, I'm in world tier 2. I'm even stronger than I was on my sorcerer, and I just one-shot things. And honestly, I haven't gotten very far in the game just because it's so easy and it's so time-consuming. I have to grind levels because I skipped the campaign. I have to grind levels, and it's just doing so much of the same stuff that I get bored really easily, which is sad to say because I'm a person that does repetitive crap. When I don't know if
oh my
people know
god,
about
Code
this,
Vein. Oh
but
my god.
Hunk got me into Call of Duty for a while. I am not a first-person shooter gamer at all, except for maybe Destiny. Destiny is the only game
Yeah, we
I
started
played
the channel
before
Call of
him.
Duty together.
But yeah, we started with Call of Duty together. I was not a Call of Duty person. I crapped all over people that liked Call of Duty. I was
Hey, you
even
got
making
better
fun
though.
of Hunk. I was making fun of Hunk too. I'm like, oh, you're. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna get in trouble for anything I say. But there's certain terminology out there. I was using it even against Hunk. I'm like, oh, so you're one of those people. But no, he got me to play, and I did get better. But I'm the kind of player where I grinded out like what was it? It was Cold War was my favorite because of the zombies.
Oh
I love
god.
zombies. I got
Yeah.
so good at zombies, and I love zombies. He got me into zombies more than anything about Call of Duty with zombies. And I did so much more than him. He thought I was insane because I grinded like all my
Everything.
weapons to max level. I got all my camos. I did everything. I leveled up everything on all I spent
Wow.
you think I put hours into this on Diablo 4 by playing like up to
You probably
like,
have like
400
2,000
hours?
hours on.
Oh, I have thousands of hours on Call of Duty Zombies and leveling up all my stuff. And Punk thought I was insane. So I'm a person that will grind a game out if I feel like I want to and I'm enjoying myself. I don't want to do that in Diablo 4. I get bored so easily, and that's saying something. So, I mean, I'll probably do it because I want to. I still kind of want to, but I would say I get bored. It's like, oh gosh.
No, yeah. Hey Bailey, how far have you beat the game? Have you got to 100 yet or anything? I'm just
No, he's
curious.
last time I checked, he was in World Tier 3.
How is it treating you? How are you? How are you feeling about the with all the nerfs and bullshit going on exactly? I know you said some things, but how is your gameplay feeling right now? You're always welcome to join us in our Discord chat too, Bailey, if you want.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to
Because
join if
you're
you
pretty
want
much
to
part of
talk.
this. You're pretty much part of this channel too. Because we've done so many streams together. We enjoy your commentary.
You do.
Yeah, we're just in the Discord chat. If you're on Discord, just hit me up. Oh, I need to turn you down a little bit. I guess. I guess you're louder than me. We need to be equal. Thank you, babe. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking
Increased
die.
range. That's actually a good range. I think I'm gonna keep that
The
one
audio
on.
in a minute. I fucking hate audio. I wish I was where a little bigger so we can afford to have somebody do all this tweaking for me. Give me a second. Let me go to Discord real fast. Let me turn you down probably to
Yeah, I'm a little bit
70.
louder. I don't know. Maybe I think it's because I set up my mic maybe a
No, you're
little
fine.
bit better than Hunk. I don't want to say that in a bad way, but I spent a lot of time getting my mic to be set up
Oh,
just right, and it's
Swiss,
loud.
we want you to join in a little bit we'll do Destiny next. How's that sound? You can also join us in Discord. Here, we're gonna switch over to
Oh
a different
yeah,
channel.
neither me or Hunk has played a lot of Destiny recently.
Hey,
So if you've been playing and you have more to say, we would love to have more opinions.
so
So
if anyone knows, this is a community driven channel, so we want our community to talk with us in Discord.
oh
So
yeah,
I'm gonna go over to which one should I go into? Let's go into
are
the
you changing
Destiny.
Discord?
Yeah, I'm going over to the Destiny Discord chat room.
Oh, it's gonna take you a second to set up. Hold on.
Oh, you can't just go over to it? You should be
Well,
able
I'm
just to
not.
click it.
I have to change my PC to do that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna switch over there. You guys join up in the Destiny Discord. So Bailey, if you're available, Swiss, if you're available, let's do that. So I'm gonna hang up here. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can invite everybody here. All right. Well, I'm in the Discord for Destiny. There's
Yep,
E.
we're
I
in
hear you.
Discord.
All right. Let me pull back up chat. So, yeah. Any other comments from chat about the state of our lovely? Can you guys see chat? By the way, yeah, you can. Okay, good.
No, I can't. I just turned my phone off.
Okay. No,
Whoa,
I was
okay.
wondering if you guys could see it in the picture because I'm trying to update the stream where you guys can see it on screen, so you don't have to have a bunch of stuff. All right. What is how what I was saying in there's like how is your experience right now in that game, Bailey?
Diablo
Um,
4.
so I didn't bother. Like, I could have hit max level if I wanted to, but I wanted
Hmm.
to experience a little bit of every character.
Okay.
Because I'm one
Yeah,
of those
I didn't do that.
players. I'm one of those players that I come up with a really cool idea. I'm like, I want to see if this can be turned into a build. And then I'll level that character up, and then I'll get pretty far in, and then I'll get another idea, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have to make this into a build. So then I'll create a new character, and that's a problem I have with these kind of games.
Yeah.
And the
If
time it
it's not meta,
takes
it's
to
not.
level up is problematic.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's one of the big issues. It takes a long time to level
I think
up.
the game would get it's probably for my opinion it's probably about a 5 if the leveling was good. Probably more like an 8.
My highest level character is like level 65 or 66, so I
Hmm.
personally feel like that is okay to be at endgame. Like, I feel
Did
like
you
I've met endgame-ish territory there.
Did you get to World Tier 4 yet?
I have one character that is just barely, pretty much almost able to do that dungeon.
Oh, so
to
you haven't done
switch
the
over.
dungeon yet. That boss is a little rough. I'll admit,
Yeah.
especially for my class. I was a sorcerer, which is not a boss killer.
And I was excited to play the game. It's just
mine is a necromancer for season 1. It's pretty close.
Yeah,
everyone's saying
sound, I
necromancer's
can
the
see it
best.
right now in season 1. Yeah, it's pretty potent.
All right, continue what you were saying, Bailey.
As far as defending Diablo 4 goes, I have a love-hate relationship with it, just like what you guys were saying, is the more you play, the more you're gonna grow to hate it. My opinion on that is a little bit more on the lines of the way the community is treating the game and giving its feedback towards the devs themselves. Because yes, the devs are gonna make mistakes and they're gonna try to fix it.
Oh yeah.
They already confirmed they're gonna do patches that are gonna buff every class, rework it, and all that stuff. The issue is streamers I will not name.
Yeah.
I respect them.
I might name them. I don't know. I might know who you're talking about. Continue.
But streamers like one who hit 1.8 billion damage are going around and saying that these need buffs and these need nerfs and whatnot, and to a casual player,
mouth shut.
yeah, to a casual player that is struggling and like relying on this feature that gets changed and altered just randomly without them knowing, because they don't pay attention to YouTube, they don't have like access to like, you know, the developers, they don't have like communication and whatnot, because they're not like, they don't pay attention to it. They're just playing a game because it came out. It's not fair on them because
Hold up. Right back.
all these changes are happening and they just don't know what's going on, and then it's throwing them off because their build's not working, and it ruins the experience for the casual.
Oh yeah, some of those updates have destroyed builds, and the problem is if you're not streaming, if you're not one of these,
take your time.
Take your time. If you're not one of these, okay. If you're not one of these crazy streamers and you're not playing 24/7 like some of these people are, the problem is that they don't have all this, like this small, like even I haven't gotten to all the little small nuances that make your character go from like powerful to like just uber godly. And they say it needs to be nerfed because their build is so crazy, but half the time they're exploiting the game using bugs or things aren't working the way they're supposed to. And instead of, I mean, sometimes fixing that's okay, but sometimes they just nerf that ability, and it ruins the build because someone who doesn't have all the things lined up in a row, they were doing okay damage, and now they're doing subpar damage.
Well, the thing is how I view how I view Diablo 4, I don't view it a multiplayer game. I view it a single player experience or a couch co-op style game.
Well, that's the problem.
I like having a big map to explore.
Yeah.
I like having the big map to explore. I don't like that you have to have internet.
No,
that's the part that bothers me. I like the open world aspect. I like the whole multiplayer stick, but I don't like that you have to have internet to play it.
Do you guys remember if Diablo 3 you had that internet in the beginning or not?
Yes, at the beginning.
Diablo 3's launch was so horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. They fixed it.
I remember I couldn't play it. I pre-ordered it on PC when I was living in Missouri, and I couldn't play it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh, I was pissed.
Yeah, that was my experience as well. Like, I feel like Diablo 4 is in a way better spot than Diablo 3 ever was for its launch. But it needs to slowly get better than what it is.
Would you say it's having a identity crisis in a way?
I would say that right now, because they're short-staffed, they need to get new people that have better ideas and stop relying on Activision's side of it. Because Activision's are the ideal people right now, and it's not good.
No, they got the Bobbies of the world are in Activision. I have zero respect. That's why I don't play Call of Duty anymore. They just...
See, I miss Activision during the PS2 days.
Yeah,
back when they would make a game and complete it, and then just launch as a full game. That's it.
Well, everyone's got this quarterly mindset of like everything has to be done each quarter to make money. Live stream bullshit. That it's upsetting. And that's kind of where it kind of ruins the game. It's not about the players anymore. It's about the players' money, which I understand that devs need to make money. I'm all for supporting them in every which way. But that's where I also brought in the free to play. If it's going to be like that, my opinion is like most of these games should be free to play, and just do microtransactions. Like I don't even care if you're buying, power.
See, the issue with the way that Diablo 4 has their shop set up is it's all cosmetics. Who's gonna pay $26 for a skeleton mask?
Oh, see, that's the thing. Their base store is awful. I will never buy anything in that thing. Now, I will say,
I do love that they have seasonal rewards that give you that currency. If
you like cosmetic stuff and you don't mind spending like $10, the season format is not terrible. Like they give you a lot of stuff for the cosmetic.
They did a good job with the seasonal.
That's really nice. The problem is though, is it's such a bad experience to level up right now for me to get leveled up or whatever. The only time I'm gonna buy the season pass is if I can finish it.
All right, so
wait a second. I don't know if I'm motivated enough to finish
it. Swiss wants to know what other games we're talking about tonight. So we're starting off with Diablo. The other game I want to talk about is
Destiny.
And then I have Elden Ring. I have what other games do I have?
I feel like this is a topic for any game.
Yeah, we just wanted to talk about games in general. Based off of what Hunk was telling me, we want to talk about good games as well. I know one of the most recent games, Resident Evil 4 Remake, masterpiece, amazing.
I can't really think of anything wrong with that game.
No, I can think of something wrong. I think, in my opinion, I feel like they fucked up Mercenaries. It's not the same to me. I don't appreciate it as much.
No, it's not.
Some people really love it. I don't. But that's like the only thing I have to say bad about it. But
it was free. It was a free DLC.
It was free. Yeah, it was a free DLC. So whatever. And the fact that they managed, like they were willing to at least make it a thing and viable, it's better than they did Mercenaries in 8, which I like 8 as well. That's a lot older game. But
I didn't like Mercenaries in 8.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
I'm really upset at what happened with Warframe.
Oh, I haven't been playing Warframe in a long time.
I shit out of Warframe. I haven't played in a while. I'm not happy.
I used to play Warframe every single day, and then they made changes, and I have not yet downloaded it again.
I feel like those changes are the prime example of developers listening to the
community,
very loud minority community voice of all the hardcore gamers going, oh, it's too easy. When the fact with Warframe is, the problem that I have with Warframe that really ruined it for me is the fact that it may have been easy, and yeah, maybe things could have been toned down a little bit, but the problem is everything in that game is designed as such a huge grind to get anywhere.
Exactly.
Like, once they changed it and it was so bad and you have to regrind a whole bunch of stuff that I'm already behind in the game, and it made it even worse. I didn't want to play it. Like Hunk was telling me, oh, I'm gonna start playing it again because I really like it. I'm like, not me. I'm done.
See, I'm okay with the difficulty change, but what they should have done, because they have something very similar to what Diablo 4 has, is they have like the steel path, which makes it harder, which is like the World Tier 2 kind of situation.
I could never get far in steel path. I didn't have a good character.
They could have added another steel path for those hardcore gamers and called it something different. And,
and then have the crazy difficulty.
Exactly, and then leave the base game alone.
That would have made a lot of sense.
That would have been so much better.
Genius point, Bailey.
I said this to so many big streamers and so many community members. No one agrees with me.
Honestly,
no one agrees with me.
Too stupid. There's no reason they can't do that. I'm totally with you 100%. They need to try to cater to each class of player there, and they have the resources to do that. I mean, they have steel paths, so obviously they can do it that way.
I think that's a funny point that I've just thought of. Is it's like all these companies say and everyone that even the hardcore streamers and stuff will say that these games are catering to a casual audience. But the problem is the people that are talking and the people that listen to aren't casual players.
No, they are not.
The casual players aren't on YouTube. I mean, sometimes they're on YouTube, but
Like,
that's about it. They're not going to be paying attention to your patch notes. They're not paying attention to your website. They don't give a fuck.
I'm not a casual player, and so it doesn't bother me the changes, but to people that I want to introduce to the game, I can't bring new friends in because they're just gonna die.
Dude, if someone tried to get me into Warframe right now and I didn't have any progress in the game, I would think you're a joke.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. I would have no one to play with because that's how everyone I know sees it. It's like
it's not new player friendly anymore.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Not
Elites,
at all.
elites can now just ignore AoE.
Unless
100%.
Because you can buy power in that game easily, but
the thing I don't like about Warframe, since you brought it up, I'm sorry, but you went there, is my biggest problem with Warframe is the fact that I did do a lot of grinding. I got really powerful.
I think I remember we played together a bit.
Yeah, and I haven't played since the new changes, so I don't even know how bad it is. I don't want to know.
I haven't played since new changes either.
I got actually mad before the changes happened because they released like I don't know if they're continuing the story or not right now. But they are still continuing. Okay, because back then it sounded like they added like a new pinnacle thing that sounded like it was going to be the end of the story. I never played it because I got locked out of it. That's how they've
been doing every arc now.
I got locked out of it, and they needed me to. They wanted me to grind so much crap in one area just to do it, even though I was powerful enough. Yeah, I was
I have one for you.
You can't. Well, you can't do that. You can't give anything. I don't think.
Yeah, you can't give people resources.
Oh, I don't think.
No, not the resources. I have all the parts for him to make his mech. I can just give him his mech.
Oh. Yeah, but he has to get the resources to make those parts. That's the thing.
Yeah, he has to forge them, but.
And those resources are expensive as it can possibly get.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Is like
you buy you can buy it.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's exactly
that's
what
the
I felt.
issue.
That's how I felt. And for playing that game, I did everything free to play, and I enjoyed the game. But then I hit that one point where I couldn't do the last story content, not because I wasn't high enough level or I was good enough or anything. It's just because they wanted me to do some arbitrary quest line that was so grindy that I haven't done yet. And the only reasonable option for me to actually do it is to buy it, and I was not gonna buy some bullshit to do the story. That's fucking
Dude, I got my
poor
platinum,
design.
I think. Did I get my platinum?
Oh,
I got my fucking platinum.
I got the trophy, but I don't think I got my platinum. I'm kind of confused.
I got my platinum.
So one of the biggest things that upsets me.
No, I didn't get it. Never mind.
One of the biggest things that upset me was my favorite Warframe was Wukong, you know, the whole monkey kind of thing. Wukong. That is my favorite Warframe. I love it with a passion. This Warframe hit the biggest nerf you would ever imagine, but not for the reason that you would think. So, a lot of people were running around with a rocket launcher, and they were giving it to their clone, and their clone is making particle effects cover the whole screen.
Yeah,
and it was visually a problem. It wasn't damage-wise a problem. People weren't being lazy. There was active players constantly moving around and like fighting. But they made it so that Wukong's clone now consumes ammo instead of having infinite.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So now you have to run around and pick up ammo for your clone to keep shooting anything. Which, that doesn't just apply to rocket launchers. That applies to non-rockets too. And I never gave my clone a rocket launcher, so this nerf just hit me for no reason. As well as
ammo economy was in that game. It's not very good, I know that.
As well as the clone has a 30% damage reduction nerf, which I don't understand why.
Really?
Yep.
Clone used to be OP. Was his melee damage still nerfed too?
Is what?
Melee damage on him nerfed as well?
I don't know. I have stopped caring after the Wukong nerf. But there's one other nerf that really hurt me, is elites ignore AoE.
Hey, what's up, Swiss? Just heard you join.
It doesn't sound like it's that bad, but if you have a build that is supposed to stun enemies, elites don't get stunned.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I had a Wisp build, and basically the whole thing was enemies that get like to a certain distance to me will be stunned for a few
Join up on
seconds.
me.
And yeah, now elites can just run up to me and just kill me in one hit.
Oh, yeah. Well, the nice part, like, I didn't really run into that because I was playing with what was his name? What was the Warframe you played as, E? The
Oh, who was I using?
Revenant.
Yeah, I was using Revenant a lot.
I'm
I like
using Revenant Prime right now, and he is unkillable. He cannot die. I went to Steel Path, level 300.
I don't know what Revenant's
tired of that.
abilities are. I don't remember
Well,
Revenant.
It
Well.
does some like laser beam dance.
No,
Yeah,
not
so
that
that
kind of
laser beam dance does a lot less damage now.
No, I'm not talking about that. I don't use it for any of that. I use him for survivability only. He has an ability where you can cast a thing on him where it does stacks. So every time it gets hit, it takes a stack away. But you can make it so your clones give you more stacks, bullshit like that. So you just
Oh, you're talking about Nidus. You're talking about Nidus.
Not Nidus. Nidus has a skip death. It's kind of similar, but it's a little harder to do Nidus's thing because Nidus is the one who does the infection stuff. You have to get 15 stacks with Nidus in order. Every time he dies, it takes away 15 stacks. I think the max stacks you can get with Nidus is 100. Don't quote me on that, but no, Revenant.
If you focus on his fourth ability, getting stacks is basically just cake.
Yeah, but if you lose those stacks, you're kind of fucked. It's like that's the hard part. But with Revenant, it's super easy. All you have to do is like mind control some people, and then you get your stacks back. And you get like a whole. If you get hit once, you get a whole like 5 seconds of invincible, and you just put it back on yourself. It's crazy. You should
They
try him
changed
out.
survivability quite a bit, and they actually made surviving easier on every frame.
When did this patch come out? It's been about 3 months since I played.
That's probably about when it came out.
Okay. I know they added the whole thing where you can start the game all over again. I wasn't gonna do that.
No. They did make a new thing though, 2 to 3 months ago, and basically you have like extra passives now, and you can add like damage reduction, more health regeneration, so you don't have to use mods to do that for you.
Oh, okay. Is it a operator thing?
No, it's for your Warframe.
Oh, I know they added the new mods. I forget what they're called. You got from doing those stupid quests with the Grenier or whatever. I hated those things.
I think these might also apply to your operator. I don't know, but
I don't know when that was, but Amelia Fang, you said hi. Hi, welcome.
Yeah, I said hi. Join up on me. Yeah, join up on me so we can do this DLC.
I was trying to find you.
Oh, my offline.
But if you want to use a Warframe just for survival, play as Inaros, because he has like 5,000 health, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. I play Baruch. I just don't die with Baruch.
I played as Wukong because I thought Wukong was one of the strongest for survivability. He has a Shadow Walk that heals instantly. He has 3 different lives.
Look at my badass character. Look at that. OP looking cool. Don't kill me.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played. Have you played Swiss? Have you played Warframe?
No, I played like a little bit.
What'd you think of it?
It was all right. I didn't get really far into it, but it wasn't like I don't know how to explain it.
It's hard to get into that game, especially if you join late.
Yeah,
you need to join someone. You need to be able to join someone who knows what they're doing and is able to easily walk you through what to do.
The only reason I ask that is a lot of people compare Destiny to Warframe.
I hate that comparison.
And even with that, having someone that knows what they're doing help you walk you through it, it is very complex still.
There's a lot of shit going on.
Comparison to Destiny to Warframe. They are not the same kind of games whatsoever.
Not at all.
No. I mean, it would be cool to have more abilities like Warframe and Destiny. All right, I think we're gonna move over to Destiny since Swiss is here.
God.
All right, Swiss. Okay, so my experience so far, I did jump back into Destiny this week.
Okay.
Leveled up from base to mid max, whatever.
I don't think you don't own the actual year.
No, I'm not
content,
gonna go buy the
Lightfall.
DLC right now.
You didn't do Lightfall
Yeah.
at all.
No, I did do the free shit, but
Okay.
so how is Destiny feeling to you right now?
Okay, so where do I start? There's like so much.
There is.
Start for the
So matchmaking and PvP is just god awful. It's a sweat fest every single game.
It's always been awful.
It's horrible.
I think
No, but like this season, it's really, really bad. Trust me, it's so bad, dude. I can get a 2 KD in trials and not go flawless. It's fucking it's absurd.
Actually, you know what's really funny? To hear that coming from Swiss is saying something for anyone who's listening, because oh my gosh,
Swiss carried her asses.
I'm playing Destiny right now. It just shows how much I'm dedicated to this game.
Right.
But okay,
it's a good trick to do that.
How many hours do you have in Destiny? Just say how many hours you have in Destiny.
On Steam right now, I think I have close to 7,000.
I was gonna say like 10,000. I wasn't too off.
No, I'm not that much.
I only have like 1,300.
Well, let's put it this way. That's on Destiny 2, right? What about Destiny 1?
I've never played Destiny 1. So.
Oh, you never played Destiny 1? Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
I've only started playing since like the beginning of Beyond Light, basically.
I started from Destiny a year into Destiny 1, so I played from a long time ago.
I started when Forsaken came out. Goddamn Bailey! Goddamn Bailey here had us go buy all the. Well, he didn't make us, but to go play with him, so we spent like $150.
I played.
Did you?
Yes.
He played one day with us. One day
with you guys, but
like
I still
later.
played, and I haven't seen you guys play ever since when I was.
Well, that's because it's.
Dude, we played so much.
Yeah,
we played
after
like
I had to convince you to play it, I burnt myself out.
Yeah.
We can listen to Swiss here talk about the state of the game.
Yeah, let's go ahead, Swiss.
Okay. So there's you guys might know there's like a public outrage about seasonal content, seasonal story, purchases, real money problems. Everyone knows that, right? But for me personally, I don't really care about it, just due to the fact I'm not buying any of the shit, so I really don't care. Yeah. But them caring more about like cosmetics and fixing the Sparrow times or like the Sparrow speed, that pisses me off, right?
What do they do with the Sparrow speeds?
They're just always on time. Like, what's the point of putting all these cosmetics in if always on time is just the fastest? There's no point to using any other ones. Hold on, give me.
I mean, it should be able to put skins on that stuff.
See, the issue I have with Destiny is every time they have a new season, the power level gets changed. That's the issue I have. I don't like having
no, not season, but well, I guess it does, but just a little.
That's the one thing they didn't do that this season, so everyone stayed the same, and that was a good thing. Everyone liked that. Hopefully, they stay doing that. I would only do that for expansions, like power living for expansions, because like it kind of helps with the storyline.
I would like if they just found like a cozy area to put the power level and just left it. Maybe on very rare occasions increase it a little bit.
Doing the grind at the beginning of the year for each thing. Oh god.
Because I always feel like I'm just behind, and then I just have so much I have to do, and I don't like that feeling, and I can't get into Destiny because I know it's just gonna change again.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's a game you have to play like all the time just to be able to do stuff.
That's what it's designed to do.
It's like
I think the games are just too much for me because I can't consistently play the same game over and over and over and over again.
I mean, I was addicted for a little bit to Destiny when I got back into it after we bought all the stuff.
It's amazing. I mean,
it feels great.
You can't deny it.
I love the gameplay for sure.
It's a good feeling shooter. But anyway, continue on, Swissy Poo.
The seasonal, like this season specifically, has caused an outroar because it just sucks. Like it just sucks. Like the seasonal stuff just isn't fun. They're releasing no new story stuff, and they released Lightfall story stuff in this season as like a side quest to the seasonal story, which makes absolutely no sense. Because why wouldn't you just put it in the expansion? Like, just put it in the expansion. Why do we have to learn more about the thing that we? It just doesn't make any sense.
Let's talk about the expansion real quick. What you thought of the expansion in general?
I kind of like the expansion. I did not like how it was like a training session the whole entire time, but I mean it makes sense because
It's kind of like how Beyond Light did, whatever it's called.
it was way worse than Beyond Light.
Oh shit.
Absolutely. But I like Neomuna. I like the location. I didn't like how the boss was just a pushover. On day one, at least, it was just so fucking easy.
Like the last boss of the DLC?
Yeah, it was just. It wasn't like Witch Queen.
Like
Witch
the
Queen
Witch
was like
Queen
actually a
was, like, pretty-
challenge.
Yeah.
Witch Queen was a challenge. Do you guys know the final boss in Lightfall?
No,
I don't
boss, are you talking about, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the names right now. It's been so long since I played Destiny.
Because I don't want to spoil anything.
No, you don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's Callus, right?
It's Callus, yeah. Callus, this fuck. Listen,
I
this.
don't like his mechanics, because his mechanics was like,
No.
It's not hard unless he knocks you off the ring.
Listen, this actually pissed me off because this is like supposed to be like a big ass villain, like super badass. We built him up for literally like 6-7 years, right? And this guy's just a fucking pushover.
He is a pushover.
Like his actual version is just a pushover, and it fucking pisses me off. But anyway,
unless he knocks you off the ring.
That's the only way he can kill you.
Exactly.
They did like update the boss battle so it was a little harder, which is okay. But like everyone already did it already. Like there's no fucking point. So that's that. Yeah, I really hated it. And the whole season or the whole expansion, we learned nothing about the main thing that we were like discovering, right? It's called the Veil.
The Veil. They didn't describe anything. It's just
yeah,
it's mysterious.
It's mysterious. It holds secrets. It's like the Traveler. That's all we fucking learned from it. But we had to wait a whole ass like season, like basically 2 seasons because it's the end of this season. 2 ass seasons to actually like learn what it was. Like it's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Like it was just like, oh yeah, it's Traveler Witness related stuff. Don't worry, we'll tell you later. That's literally what Lightfall was. And then like the training exercises with Strand, which
that's literally what Gearbox is doing.
Like it's so fucking stupid.
I've never seen Swiss get so animated before.
That's literally.
Swiss, I've never heard Swiss like that. Swiss is usually calm and collected.
That's literally what Gearbox is doing with Borderlands right now.
And listen. The fucking raid that they released, the easiest contest mode raid ever, no difficulty whatsoever, in 48 hours, the easiest fucking boss, easiest bosses, easiest encounters, it's supposed to be hard! Nezarek, we haven't seen this guy in forever, like, he has exotics in the game. Like, he's supposed to be badass, he's fucking pushover. I've one-faced him day 1! You're not supposed to be doing that! You're not supposed to be doing that on day 1!
Dude, Swiss is mad! Holy cow!
Oh my...
See, I was expecting something like more along the lines of fact of like Destiny, like the fact that they've made it where you can literally like pay to win now, which is really stupid, or pay for advantages.
Oh, like what do you mean? What do you mean?
You didn't know about
like
that? So apparently you can. It used to be where the seasonal stuff, or for the exotic weapon and all that stuff, you have to progress the season. And they made it so where, like, at halfway through the season, you could pay for tiers if you wanted to get caught up. And then they changed it to where you can, day 1, buy all of the season pass stuff from the very beginning if you want to spend money on it, which I think is stupid.
That is stupid, but I mean, I don't really see an issue with that, honestly.
You probably wouldn't really realize that anyway because you play the game, and you won't have that issue.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay for shit anyway.
The reason why I don't really see that big of an issue for it is because I'm pretty sure like after you get 100, like you can't buy like the ranks, so it's not that like I don't really see an issue with it, you know? Because if it was like after tier 100 and you could like start buying like your artifact levels, you know, which that's a problem.
That would be
but like
really bad.
because after 100, like you can't buy any after 100, so I don't. It's just really there for people to get caught up or just to skip all the tier 100 grinding, which
now
as again I don't really see a problem with.
The reason why a punk brought up the fact that I would be upset about it is because I bought Lightfall. I played the season for it, or the campaign for it and everything. I did the first season. Spoiler alert, I don't know. I don't think anyone, in our group is going to be too worried to hear about it. So chat doesn't like about it. I'm sorry, but spoiler alert, they killed off Amanda. All poor boo-hoo. That's about my experience with Lightfall seasonal content. Which I think is silly because I've been hearing I saw the teaser where they're trying to bring Kate back. Oh God, I don't even want to know. Anyhow,
that's another thing.
Yeah, that's really stupid. That's like one of the biggest things they did was kill him off, and then they're gonna bring him back.
It just reminds me of what like these big movie like Marvel, for example, just bringing back dead characters. Like it's just why do it? Why she's gonna come back as a guardian? Like it was hinted at. It's gonna happen. It's just
I can see it. You're right. That's terrible. Oh,
why? It makes their deaths meaningless. Like it makes no fucking sense. Like okay, in Marvel and Secret Invasion, right? I don't want to spoil anything, but they basically made the most powerful being in the universe, right? It's literally just one person with everyone's attributes and skills and superpowers in one person, right?
Yeah, it is.
And it's just why kill everyone off if you're just gonna make this fucking bitch? It just makes no sense. And now they're doing bringing back Cade. It's just you just made his death meaningless, basically. This whole ass storyline you try to put off in Forsaken with Cade dying and we're avenging him. That was great. That was amazing. It should have just stayed there, right? It's just Cade's legacy should have just stayed in the past. Okay, I might be jumping the gun here, but Cade's not confirmed back. He could just be an NPC stuck in the Traveler, right? And everyone who died a Guardian is just stuck in the Traveler. That could be a thing.
I'm not buying it though, but
why is he talking to Ikora? It just makes I don't know. It just pisses me off. Okay.
See, it's funny because it's not the fact for me. It's not the fact that they're bringing him back. That's the biggest crime. It is a crime, but it's not even the biggest crime. The fact is they made a big deal out of it, and it's been so long, and they haven't built up to it in any way. So to just bring him back is what they're doing. It seems that's stupid as hell.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have made a story and made it hinted oh yeah, he might come back and shit, that's one thing.
I think their way of hinting at it was putting a statue in the tower, that's
stupid.
That is the worst way to tease at it.
That's not a story. That's not how you do
they might hint at it in future seasons. That's probably what they're gonna end up doing. But we haven't gotten there yet. But it was just weird for them to tease it for a trailer first, then actually say anything in game. But that's weird. The one thing I did like about the last 2 seasons is the new dungeon. The new dungeon had a lot of lore into it with Oryx and stuff. The Hive were basically trying to revive Oryx, and he had to crush his ghost. It was really cool, really sick. And you went around and collected Xivu Arath's memories, so you got to learn a little bit about her and her thoughts about Guardians and shit. That was really sick. The whole dungeon itself is cool. You get to go underwater and shit, just the seasonal activities that you guys might have played. Punk probably has, right?
I don't know.
Is he here?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, my mic was muted. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, no, I played it. Yeah.
Yeah, the dungeon was really cool, really sick. I had a boss from one of the strikes that got vaulted. I forgot her name, but it was that one where you're on Mars and it's the witch.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know. I really did like that dungeon. Plus, I had cool emblems along with it, and a cool seal. It was a ghoul or something, which was a little spooky. That was really cool. Guardian Games last season was alright.
I didn't play that. Wasn't gonna buy the season just to play Guardian Games like E did.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was something I was gonna bring up. For me, the only reason why I bought Lightfall, which is gonna sound really stupid, and yes, for me it's a waste of money, I'll admit, even for me, is I got it just so I could get my Reveler seal. so I could do all the events because I had to do the last season event by a whole new year just to really do that.
That was the dumbest shit.
I think, are they not free to play?
I think it's free to play, but I think it's free to play, but you don't get any of the new stuff, so it's more of a struggle.
No, what the issue is, it's not free to play. You have to do Trials of Osiris stuff. Trials of Osiris is locked behind.
I didn't have to do trials. No, I didn't have to do trials.
Well, it's something you couldn't do unless you bought the game. Because a lot of the stuff is like a lot of the stuff was locked behind. When you go try to do this game free to play, Destiny, and you go to try to do something, and it says you can't do this because you don't have whatever the expansion is. For example, I can't do Trials of Osiris right now because I don't have the expansion, which I understand. Okay, whatever. But there's a lot of stuff you can't do unless you have the expansion, the new expansion.
See, I disagree with that. I think to unlock Trials, you just have to buy a expansion. I think having the latest one is kind of stupid because it forces you to it's like a subscription to play Trials, which is the most stupid thing I've ever heard, especially when it's so ass and trash with matchmaking. It pisses me off.
It is horrible. It was horrible back in the day when I tried to do it. It wasn't as bad probably as it was now, but
no, it's so bad now.
Well, you know why? So bad? I can tell you the true reason why it's so bad right now.
I know why it's bad too.
Because of the decisions that they make. It's kind of like what I'm a fear for, like Diablo, for example. It's a similar thing. It's that they're doing stupid decisions that's getting rid of the casual player base, and so you don't have any casuals willing to do anything. No, I think it might be though. But I mean, that's part of it because just think about it. There's not that many casuals playing Trials. And so you get all these sweat lobbies because only the most OP people are playing, and there's no people to play against.
What's really going on is they're having their new game come out. It's going to be a PvP game. So a lot of the stuff that's going on, they've already said something about it. All their people that are working on the Destiny PvP are all moving over to that game.
Yep. And that's another thing. They don't care about Destiny anymore because they're focusing on Anthem.
They want Anthem to run. They don't care if Destiny is a fucking 10-year-old game, whatever long. It's been out forever. They don't give a shit about it anymore.
They don't give two fucks. Like, they're already, asking people if they want a new game. Like, there was a survey out and, sent in people's Gmails about asking if they would be interested in playing.
Fuck. Heal me!
I'm dead! I was dead a long time ago.
Oh! Okay, I'll try to get you. Shit! I'll try to get you. I'm coming.
Oh god.
And for the seasonal events Solstice, Dawning, I haven't even picked up the armor to start the shit for.
I already did it. I have the armor, but I got rid of it. I just fused it with my new shit.
Oh my god. This guy's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even pick up the armor to start it, even though I'm playing it right now. I don't give a fuck about it. There's no incentive for me to play it. Their new weapon is the worst, fucking, rocket in the game. So why would I even grind for it?
Is it just one weapon?
They only added one weapon, but you can get, the compass rose.
Is it a reskin?
It's a reskin. It's a reskin Hake frame that you can literally get for free on the fucking Throne World. And it's with better perks. I believe it. And it's craftable. Too.
Oh boy.
I will say I like the introduction to the craftable stuff, but I don't like the grind for it.
Yeah, that's fair. They just made the Last Wish weapons craftable, which was really nice. They gave them new perk pools, so that kind of put them into the meta, and so people would actually be interested in running the old raid. I think that was really cool, really smart of them. To leech off their player base to play in their game.
They haven't had anything new in a long time.
What do you mean?
Most of their stuff is just rehashing.
Oh, reskinned.
Rehashing. Even the events, it all feels the same.
The newest stuff that they did was a retexture basically. So do you know the weapons this season?
I have no idea.
Okay, it's basically Season of the Drifter weapons, right? But there's two different versions of them. There's one version where it's normal, right? And then there's a Taken version of them, which is sslightly different. But hold on, I'll just stream it because it looks. I have a weapon on.
I'll pull it up in a second.
It's a Taken weapon. It's really sick.
We're fighting a
guys are
boss. I'm sorry, this
awful.
boss sucks.
These aren't even bosses. He's just some OP enemies. Holy crap.
You got fucking... I don't even think this is a boss.
No, I've never been hurt this much in this game.
Is this a boss or is it just regular enemies? This is just regular
They're just
enemies.
regular enemies. They're just
Holy
elite
shit.
enemies. Yeah,
Those things
are
are fucking
nasty
horrible. Hold up, let me pull it up, Swiss. Let me see. You're pulling it up in the chat, right?
I think
No, I was streaming
I
it.
think in Discord.
Alright, let me
Just
see.
because I have it up right now.
I'm
Like
pulling it up.
it's
Oh,
basically
yeah.
just like a taken
I
weapon.
mean, they look cool.
It's really cool. And they're like slightly different from like their other counterparts. Like, hold on, let me grab the other version. I think I have one here. Yeah, so.
I mean, your
Kinda
character looks
looks
pretty
like
dope.
the Eidolon glows from Warframe.
So this one is like
Yeah.
the taken version, and this is like the regular version. So you can see like they're slightly different. Like this one's solar, and this is like in the first slot. So that's something really cool they've done. Added like variety to like the old weapons.
I do like the loadouts. The loadouts is nice.
Oh, like the loadout screen.
Yeah, the loadout's nice.
You can see I don't care about it.
Well,
I
you
haven't
don't
used
really,
it at all.
There's really no... Like me, I change quite a bit. Especially if I'm playing a hunter, I like to change out my builds.
Well, they changed things though, so that might not be the same thing anymore. Because when I was playing, they did they make it where like, how was it that they changed it? I can't remember, but like they made it where like isn't it like all the seasonal mod shit like automatically unlocks or something? You have it all
Yeah. So on the
Really weird.
on this the seasonal artifact, right? You don't have to put these on your arms or anything anymore. Or
You know
like
you
your
can't
class
do
items,
any
like
of
it
the
just
seasonal
stays there.
stuff unless you pay for the expansion. You cannot do any of it.
Really?
None of the
Can't do
bounties,
loadouts
nothing.
or anything, or
You
can't
used to be able to do them, but not get stuff from them.
Nope, you can't even pick them up. I tried picking them up the other day. I couldn't even pick them up. So you need to buy the expansion.
Yeah, it locks you out of it.
I can do the. I can get the. I can get the artifact.
Reason, that's what I meant by it's easier to do the seasonal content by buying it because you have more stuff to do. You're locked out of a bunch of stuff when you don't buy the.
Well, that's my
expansion.
next. That's my next thing about Destiny in general. The monetization in that game just.
Oh, it's so awful now.
It's so bad. It's actually horrible.
The monetization
that I would agree
in
with.
general is just terrible. Like, for example, I've never really seen a game that, the expansions in general usually get a lot cheaper on other games or become free or part of the game in general after it's done after 2 years. Destiny doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Forsaken, there is no content Forsaken. They're still charging you $30 for it. What is there in Forsaken? You can't play the story, but they're still charging $30.
I mean, I would like to point out one game that's doing that, Wonderlands.
Yes, Wonderlands is a joke when it comes to DLC. That's ridiculous, but it's cheaper. I would say it's cheaper. We're talking Destiny prices. We're talking fucking $40 to $50 if you want to get the dungeons.
Yeah, the only thing you're paying for Forsaken is the exotics, the raid,
what you can get from the
dungeon.
tower. No, I thought they made the dungeon free for everybody. No, maybe they didn't.
No, not for Shadow Throne, no.
No, okay. Well, the other thing is like just the amount of packs. It's so confusing for a new player.
It is so
just to go into the store and say, "Hey, I don't know what to buy. What should I buy here?"
Yeah.
And there's like 30 packs. 30
there's a
packs.
legacy pack which is just Forsaken and 30th anniversary, but then there's like a
you could buy Forsaken separate for the same price.
Yeah. And they don't know that because it says Legacy Edition, and it's like I don't know. It's just
also was talked about with the seasonal pass. Like if you don't buy the deluxe edition, you're paying $15 a season because they did the whole thing where the season is $10, like whatever, $12, but they only sell it in $15 increments. So that's another thing. It's pretty shady. I mean, it's smart. I mean, it's smart for them to do, but at the same time, it's really stupid.
Yeah.
But if somebody new is getting into Destiny, my opinions, they need to stop doing this fucking $20 pension bullshit. Just give us some shit for free. The game is old. Just charge for the new expansion.
If I remember correctly, back in the day, like with Destiny 1 at the beginning, maybe the beginning of Destiny 2, I swear, I could be wrong, it's been so long, but I swear it was like, you spent like,
These enemies
I don't know,
suck. Oh shit.
$60 and you had the whole year content. Now it's like you have to spend $60 just
you have
for
to
the
pay the $100.
Then you have to do $100 if you want the
dungeon, the raid.
And the dungeons half time aren't included, and like it's just awful.
These enemies suck, bro.
And for that $100, you're not even getting 2 raids.
Oh, you're not?
No, you're getting 1 paid raid and then the 1 free raid that you don't have to pay for. But you do get the 2 dungeons, which is really nice.
I do find that pretty stupid. I don't think you should have to go pay an extra $20 or $30 just to.
And I think another problem with Destiny that I
don't know where to go.
is that the problem that I encounter too is the way that they do their monetization. People don't want to spend money, or they can't spend money, so they don't. And then you lose your player base. So all the best content is multiplayer usually. Granted, I'm not super hardcore. I don't solo shit, so I'm not as good as Swiss. I'm never gonna say that. Swiss can do a lot of solo shit. I give him
Sure, follow solo on everything.
Right? I give him mad props on that, but that's not me. I'll admit it. Like I said, I'm a moderate shooter.
Come this way.
Person.
You're going the wrong way.
I was hoping you chest. But so I'm not that kind of player. I'm more of a like intermediate. Like I'm not a casual, but I'm not a hardcore gamer in some aspects. Like
God, this area fucking sucks.
But so I need multiplayer. I want to play with people. That's what I do Destiny with. But then you have people that are like, well, I ain't buying this.
Well, I think the community is
content.
One of the better things.
Well, I know, but the problem is, like I said, people will be like, "Oh, I'm not buying this season. I'm not getting this content."
And then you can't play, yeah.
$20, and then I lose my friends, and I have no one to play with, and it makes it so the game's not fun for me, and it really hurts for me in that game.
It's like we've met some really we met Bailey. I mean, not Bailey. We met Swiss on Destiny. But we met through the channel, or is it through? Yeah, it was through the channel.
It was through the channel, yeah. I
couldn't remember if it was through the channel or the Discord.
I mean, we were playing it, I'm pretty sure, so that helped. But yeah, we met him through it, and yes, Swiss has been playing a lot. He's still playing, but the problem is he does a lot of stuff
Bailey.
solo, and he also does a lot of things with. He has a lot of people that he helps. I know he.
Bailey, do we meet you through?
Time is divided, and I get it.
We met you through Borderlands 3?
Yes. I am shocked you remembered. I thought you were going to say Wonderlands.
No, I knew it wasn't Wonderlands. Dude, I know we pre-ordered it because of you, but...
That's when we also met Ren, which he popped into one of our last streams. I was really surprised.
Dude, I couldn't play Borderlands 3 like for a second time.
Oh, I have not been able to finish that game. I cannot get through the game.
Bailey and I still want to play. I still want to play Bailey with that game. We have an idea for something. Remember, we're going to do the only one element weapons or whatever challenge. I still want to do that, but
I remember we all have to play the same character, but we have to use a certain manufacturer, as well as you're only allowed to have one element within that manufacturer. So if you're choosing Malawan, you can only use one element.
Yeah, I still want to try that. And then they made it so it's crossplay, so you could play on PC with people on PlayStation and everything, so that's nice.
I feel like crossplay should just be an automatic thing on every single game.
That's what I was really hoping, that the new... I don't know if you guys have played this game we're playing right now, From the Ashes.
Okay.
I think you guys
I have that game on Epic. I enjoyed the first half of the game.
It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun playing with friends. It's extremely fun. The new one just came out, which I was surprised they're not charging full price for a full game. And if you want to pay for all the DLC and stuff, it's full price. But
I did.
Yeah, I'm moving in there next week.
Borderlands 3, you can skip cutscenes.
What's that?
I said at least now with Borderlands 3 you can skip cutscenes.
Yeah, can you skip cutscenes in Wonderlands? Before you couldn't do that. It's like, oh damn.
Honestly, I don't think so. No.
And you talk about Wonderlands? I'm gonna say it again. So you can't you skip cutscenes in Borderlands 3?
In Borderlands 3, yes.
Okay, that didn't used to be able to do that. That sucked.
Yeah, so you were stuck playing through the slowest story and watching every cutscene. Now you can just skip those.
Dude, this feels like all these enemies are bosses.
These guys are rough. It's the DLC. It's supposed to be the hardest part of the content. We didn't level up everything. We got a lot of levels in this game, but we didn't level up everything.
What level am I? Wait, don't move any further. I want to see a level.
You know what's funny is
309.
The funny thing is in this shit, I'm freaking. Well, you're playing on hard too. That was your choice.
Well, I like the XP.
Gosh, let me stop streaming.
But
the fuck?
in this game, I think I have all the defense I can possibly get in this game. Or maybe I need Bark still. I don't know if I got that or not.
I don't have an eyeball.
It doesn't mean like interactive things anymore.
Okay. All right, so let's wrap up with. So, what other? You got any other things you want to talk about for Destiny, Swiss? I'm sure there's a lot, but
I just want to say, like, my hopes for Destiny's future has gone down drastically, starting with Lightfall.
yeah.
They should have never released Lightfall in the first place. I seen somewhere or like in an interview or like a newspaper or something, not a newspaper, like an article, that Lightfall was originally planned to be inside of the final shape, so it wasn't supposed to be an expansion. So they kind of just pushed it out for money, which is
That's all they do
fucking
now.
horrible. But yeah, I don't see the future with Destiny anymore. Like,
You know what the worst things about these games are? Is like you're mad at the game. You don't have any hopes for it at this point right now, right? Like you just said. But at the same time, like the game itself, it's
so
wonderfully. It's a great
it does.
game.
It does.
It's
But
amazing.
It's so good, but they're fucking it up.
like the whole gameplay stuff, like I really like the abilities, your super, like that's really great. A lot of games have tried to replicate that, but for me personally, I haven't been satisfied with it at all. Like even Outriders.
Yeah.
Outriders plays the same exact way with, like, you know, the abilities with uptime, and then you have like a soup. Yeah.
Well, that's when that the ugly duckling of monetized gaming, or what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's not working. Live service.
Yes, and that's the other thing I was going to mention. I was going to just hit on that. Is just imagine, like, I mean, yes, it's great to have new content and evolving content and stuff. But does anyone here just miss the oh god,
the old days?
Yeah, the old days where a game was just a game and it had a beginning and an
like
end.
Halo 1 and 2.
So pretty much like PlayStation 2, Game Boy,
Yeah,
like that kind of stuff. You buy
I mean,
the
they have their
game,
problems,
and that's
but
what you buy.
to be fair, those games did have their problems. They're not as good as we remember them to be, but they were still.
The thing is,
Some of them are.
Yeah,
same.
it's a lot of them.
Like, the problem is now, Destiny 2, like we said, it's a great game, it plays great, but they fucked it up, and it's not as enjoyable anymore. We can admit that, right? So the
definitely.
thing is that with a live service game, you can have the
Witch
best
Queen
in
was
the
amazing.
world, and then
Witch Queen was
eventually
amazing.
it just becomes trash, where you just don't want to play anymore, which is sad.
Another issue is a lot of people are taking live service games and applying mechanics that shouldn't be in them.
Yes.
There's also another thing, is they're trying to, like, everyone's trying to double down on live service games. Like, PlayStation says they're going to have, like, 10 live service games. And
unfortunately, they're not going anywhere, but...
They're saying that as like an amazing thing, like, that's a great thing for PlayStation, to have all these live service games. The problem is, even if you do enjoy live service games, and you really, you defend it with hard passion and everything, yeah, the problem is you can't play, like, more than one. And that's another issue with Diablo
I agree.
4. That's another problem with Diablo 4, and I didn't mention. Sorry to go back to that, but I just forgot about it.
Well, you can, but you won't be any good at any of them.
That's the problem that I see with Diablo 4. The reason why I don't like it as much is because the reason why leveling is so bad is because it's a seasonal game. I don't want to spend 3 months grinding out to get to level 100 in one season, in each season in Diablo 4, when, like, I want there's other games I want to play. I want to play Remnant 2.
See,
And
okay,
if they don't make it where I can play the games, other games or whatever, then I'm just gonna stop playing Diablo 4 altogether.
See, that's where the problem mainly lies. It's not so much how long it takes to level up in the game, it's how short the seasons are.
Well, that too. It's a
They don't give you
combination
much
of
time.
the lack of
Because
content and
Diablo
the
2
blowing of leveling.
Diablo 2's leveling up process is even slower than Diablo 4.
Oh yeah, that's what I was
1
saying
to
earlier.
100, fastest speedrun record is a week. The
Jesus
fastest speedrun
Christ.
record
And that's a
is a week.
speedrunner. That's a speedrunner. So it'll take you like a year to get to 100.
Yeah, I've been playing Diablo 2 quite a bit, way more than Hunk did. I got him to play it a little bit.
Yeah, and they want Diablo 4 to be
level
like
40.
Diablo 2 in terms of its leveling process. The issue is seasons only last for 3 months. That's not long enough to hit max level, farm perfect gear.
How long are seasons in Diablo 2? I don't know. I've never done them.
I didn't
don't
play
remember.
season.
Because they might be the same size, but I'll tell you what, I'm not doing seasonal content in Diablo 2.
Yeah, not a lot of people did seasonal stuff in Diablo
because
2.
I don't want to level up like crazy like that.
I don't even know how it worked. Fucking damn these rats. Oh my god.
And I was talking to someone else, and I'm sitting here like, I wish they would just take the seasonal time from Diablo 3 and just bump it to 4. That would be so much better. That's
Yeah,
literally
the
one of the biggest fixes they could do right now.
Like you could have everything done in a week and that, and then move on to a different game. Like I'm all about seasonal stuff. I'm all about it. I like when they do seasonal stuff that they do it right. I can't really think of a game that does it right now.
Like if you have like a good week's worth of content, and like let's put an hour on it. Like maybe like 20 to 40 hours of content per season about racing Hawaii. That would be great. That's assuming there's actually stuff to do and you're doing everything. That sounds like that would be a good time frame. But when you have to do everything, they want you to spend what? Literally like a 200-300 hours. That's silly.
Blame the entire Diablo community for that.
No, the Diablo community is really.
It's the entirety. I would say it's the hardcore people.
Because even some of the casual gamers are going around like, I finished playing this other grindy game and it wasn't grindy enough, so I'm gonna try playing this game in hopes it's more grindy. And then they quit because the leveling process is too hard to do because enemies have too much health.
And then the scaling, oh my gosh, we didn't mention that. The scaling for Diablo 4 is trash. I hate that.
I don't like scaling in general in video games, personally.
There is the idea of multiplayer, being able to play with anyone at any level, that's kind of appealing, but at the same time, like, I haven't played Diablo 4 with anyone.
See,
I like solo, and it's trash solo.
I like the scaling, but not mixed with the XP nerf. If they undid the nerf, the scaling would be just fine.
I think scaling for me, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, scaling for me is fine when you're doing like co-op, but when you're doing single player game, I don't really see the point. Maybe a little bit, but not.
Well, it helps you to get gear that's your level, because now gear is actually dropping that's scaling towards your character.
Does Borderlands do that? Does Borderlands have scaling?
Right, but it was bad.
Yes, Borderlands has the same scaling that Diablo 4 has.
Okay.
It's literally the same exact concept. The only difference is we have an XP.
I think the only big reason with I'm sure nobody really have a problem with scaling if the mechanics worked in the game. That's probably the truth of the matter. If your resistances worked in the game, it probably wouldn't be a problem. If you got better,
fix the wizards.
You know what? I honestly think. I think if they wanted scaling in the game, they should make it where certain areas are scaling and certain areas are not.
Well, there should be a cap on scaling.
That would confuse too many people. That's the issue with that.
There's different categories of content you can do where it's like that, but I feel like if there is different areas.
Well, let's be honest.
I would like to be able to go somewhere and feel like I'm powerful, but at the same time, I don't want to go somewhere and feel powerful and not get experience. I want to be able to go somewhere to get experience and not just do nightmare dungeons.
Well, let's
be honest with this for an idea. How about World Tier 1 has the scaling and World Tier 2 does not have the scaling? So if you want to change it up, you can just change your world tier, and then you can play without it.
They kind of do have that. That does already kind of exist, but it's still, I don't know.
It's a boss. Oh, let me put my thing in there.
The capstone dungeons, at least. I don't know if the world's like that or not. I haven't done.
It's
a
only
lot
the
of
capstone dungeons.
I haven't
be
done
honest,
a lot of the world's
honestly,
weird tier 1 and 2 is a 100 character. I just did a capstone dungeon, and the capstone dungeon was amazing because I felt so OP. I was like, oh, this feels nice. Because I went to the first capstone dungeon at level 100.
So going back to what Bailey was saying about like people ruining the game and stuff, I think most of these people, like we're talking about scaling and stuff, they probably didn't even know that was a thing until they listened to their favorite streamer or somebody told them about it. To be honest,
they probably wouldn't know what was a thing.
Yeah, they probably didn't even know scaling was a thing in the game.
Oh,
they probably don't even know what that is. To be honest, like probably 90% of the base that's playing Diablo casual base doesn't even know what it is. They just hear somebody complaining about it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where they hear from, like, let's say Asmongold or whoever else is playing these games. They get the information from that.
I would say Ackerman is the biggest person that's touched on the scaling issue, and honestly, I agree with this opinion.
He touched on it, but he didn't bring it up. Moxie,
Ackerman, he did. I don't know about Asmon. But Ackerman definitely did. He went into it big time. And like I agree with him. Like I want to be able to play a game where like there's certain areas that are like I need to be a certain level to be there. Like I shouldn't just be there. Like that's the problem. Is the game is so open. There's nothing to do, and it's all easy. What are you doing?
This boss sucks.
I'm not even okay. You got disconnected. That's what happened. You were just sitting outside the fog gate on my game.
I think World Tier 1 and 2 should have the same exact difficulty, but one should have the scaling and one should not have it, like, whatsoever. No matter where you go, enemies are forced to be certain levels per zone. But then the other difficulty, enemies always scale with you, so that if you want the preference, you can just choose World Tier 1 or World Tier 2.
Or just have an option to turn on and off, but that'd be too complicated.
And then World Tier 3 is where the difficulty part starts to ramp up.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I think they have a long ways to go in the game. I think it has promise. I will say the game has promise. But if they don't get their heads out of their lazy buttholes, there will be problems. They will.
We already got confirmation that a lot of buffs and class changes are going to be happening in Season 2.
Yeah.
And they're also going to be changing how XP works, and they're doing a huge undo patch of the big nerf patch that they did.
Well,
like the only problem with that's 3 months away.
I know that is an issue.
Most of the issue can be fixed until 3 to 6 months from now. Is one of the issues.
Well, I mean, they do have to develop the patches and have like fix them and figure out and test and whatnot.
So I have a question for all of you.
And I understand that, but at the same time, I don't know if you, because you weren't here when I mentioned it, Bailey. You were in chat, of course, but the biggest thing that I have is assuming they fix these things. Once they fix everything, and if they actually do fix things like they're supposed to, you
could join up with me.
The game is going to be unbalanced to shit again. They're going to be in the same position and fucking everything up all over again.
Well, I mean, that's a gamble. Sometimes patches do go through the way that they want it to.
Yeah.
It really just depends on what it is that they touch, because the wrong piece of code could change everything. So as long as they figure out and test it before they release it, as long as they do the testing part right, that's
part of the issue.
The important thing is.
Well,
that is part of the issue.
I understand that, but like, for example, like the resistances don't work at all right now. Once they fix resistances, that's going to unbalance the game.
How so?
How so? Because everyone will be tanky as shit.
No, because the only character who's having these broken changes right now is the wizard. The wizard right now can get one shot on a tier 100 by any enemy, regardless how much armor they have.
No, that's an understatement. You can be because I play the sorceress. You can get one shot by anything at
exactly.
Any
that's
level.
the kind of resistance changes they're doing. As far as like actual resistances for all characters, they're not going to touch that.
Why would you just you'd have to, if you just change resistance only for one character, it doesn't make any sense.
Because the one character's resistance is broken. It's the only one who doesn't.
It's all of them. It's all of them. The reason why it's broken for that character is because it relies on resistance only. The other character, you're still gonna have the chance to put resistances on.
Hey, join up on me,
for the other characters.
Oh, you're here. I left for a second. I do have a question for you guys, like all of you. So we'll start with you, Bailey. Can you think of a game? Can you think of a game that you played that you absolutely hated? And then later on, they supposedly fixed it. Did you go back to that game?
For me, that was Borderlands 3, and yes.
Okay. How about you? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your.
Its launching state was absolutely horrible, and to this day, there's still features I do not like, and the community still loves it. And similarly to what Eternal is saying is, when you add a patch, normally something else is gonna break. In this case, this is where I feel like this is proof that that is not the case in a way, is because they changed how elemental resistances work in Borderlands 3 4 times over. And with the proper testing and balance changes, it gets to a point where eventually they will figure it out and they will fix it.
I mean,
you don't.
I guess if they spend enough time and they change like how much resistance you get on gear for all classes, maybe they can balance it. But that's a lot of work.
But you see, that's the thing. Season 2 is 3 months away.
Maybe that's the reason why it's.
That's what the point I'm saying.
Exactly.
So maybe that's a point. Maybe they can. Maybe there's a chance.
That is the point I was going with. Is it's 3 months away. Now, the thing with Diablo is, I also disagree that every character's resistances are broken. I can play a druid, and from beginning to end, I feel like a tank. I do not die. I have not died once on a non-hardcore character. I made a hardcore one, and I have also not died at all.
None of my classes are like that.
I did the same thing with the barbarian. I did the same thing with every other character.
Oh fuck you! Shit.
The only character that has these survivability issues, in my opinion, is the sorcerer.
Yeah.
But with Borderlands 3,
I think
with
it's also
Borderlands 3,
barbarian.
every character had this problem because you get hit with a radiation nuke and you're just one shot. Enemies with rocket launchers, they had fully auto COV rocket launchers, would just spam them and just nuke you out of existence. You just see explosions left and right, left and right, left and right. And the only way you could survive is if you were Moze inside Iron Bear. And this was a problem the whole life cycle of the game. And finally, when they released the designer's cut, they started fixing all these problems. And it took months and months and months, but they finally figured it out. And now, Borderlands 3 still has the worst storyline any game will ever have. But now you can skip the cutscenes. You can no longer come across COV rocket launchers that are just no fire delay. The resistances do not just melt you instantly in one hit. It's in such a better condition now that I would recommend people play Borderlands 3 more than Borderlands 2. And I like Borderlands 2 more than 3.
Oh, I know. I do too. I honestly like Borderlands 2. Is one of my favorites. They nailed it. But okay, Swiss. Can you think of a game that you absolutely hated and then they fixed it like a year later? And did you go back to it? Are you still here, Swiss?
I see the unplugged headphone symbol at the bottom of there.
He may be gone. All right, we'll start with you, E. Then we'll go back to Swiss in a little bit.
Yeah, that was a hard question for me.
A hard one to think.
I'm trying to use an example, like for people that, let's say the situation that since it's going to take 3 months for Diablo to be fixed. I don't know how. I barely hurt you.
I was almost dead, and you killed me.
See, I feel like Destiny would be a great example for people because one whole season could just go downhill, and then the time they take during that shitty season could be spent, like, the developers could be spending that time working on a better season that just blows everyone's mind out of the water.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's what this is happening right now.
The games that saved themselves is like Star Wars Battlefront 2. You know how it came out? The second one.
The original?
The newer ones. Oh. You know how it came out in a very sad state where it was a loot box and buy this, buy that.
Oh, I've heard about it. I never played it, but I did hear about it. That might be a good example of a game that people went back to.
Yeah, Mary
I
has a
never
good point
played
too.
the new Battlefront 2. I only ever played the
Well,
original
for
one.
example, it was a shit game. We'll just say that. It was absolutely shit. Poopy particles everywhere.
Poopy particles.
But the problem with it is later on, let's say a year or two later, it became an amazing game, but it was too late.
Yeah.
It was too late for the game. I think that's what I'm scared for Diablo is if they don't do something fast. It's like 3 months, yeah, but what happens if it doesn't get fixed in 3 months? We'll just say it doesn't happen. You think people are gonna wait around for another 3 months? I'm sure there will be people,
depends
but
on how big the game community is. Something like
exactly.
Star Wars Battlefront has a smaller community than something like Diablo. Diablo is one
I'm
of
just
the
using for
biggest
example,
titles
but
you'll ever.
it's like people just don't have the patience to wait for a company. Like there will be your fan bases that will.
And I personally don't think that's the company's fault. That is the player-based fault because a lot of people just want content. But they don't care about the game's updates and fixes and hot fixes and important stuff that's good for the game's health.
Also, I wonder why Elden Ring does so good. They don't add content.
I've heard mixed feelings for Elden Ring. I heard good and bad for it.
Elden Ring, I'm just waiting for the DLC.
That's ridiculous. It's taking so long. But you don't hear people bitching about that, right?
It's a big game. If they could do it right, it might be a big DLC. That would be good if it is. But I know we shouldn't expect it though because they already said that they're doing Armored Core.
Do you guys know why we don't really hear a lot about Elden Ring in general? For the most part, because it was a good game. It wasn't broken like a lot of these games were. There was stuff, yes.
Broken on PS5.
Well, I'll get to it when we talk about that. I have my own grudges with that game. Like I am fucking pissed about that game. I'm the only person really on YouTube that's discussed this. Get views every day on it. But I
mentioned Wonderlands earlier.
Yeah.
For one very valid point is that Wonderlands when it launched
strong.
Exactly, yes. Wonderlands when it launched, it was such a good game. There was no glitches whatsoever except for the inventory showing everything except for your weapon stats. Like that was like the only glitch that was really like game breaking. And there was like one progression blocker. That was it. Borderlands 3 when it launched, so many glitches, so many horrible things wrong. You just don't talk about it. But with Wonderlands, it almost released like a full game, like on its own.
It did.
Like,
it felt good. The end game felt good.
And their DLC and their things to make it continue were dog crap.
See, no, that's not even what the issue is either. So I'm fine with having a DLC that has no storyline and it's just like one minor dungeon and whatnot. The issue with the DLC was how many weapons were contained in that DLC isn't enough for its price.
Yeah. And the nerfs did it too.
Expensive. The DLC that they released for that game, I feel like should have been like $5 DLC.
Directly releasing Wonderlands after Borderlands 3 and learning that, you know, like the takedowns were all like free stuff and the seasonal events, they were all free stuff. I feel like these dungeons should have just been free.
No, they should have been free, yeah.
Even after they released all 4 of the DLCs, not a lot of people realized this. They actually had plans to release story-based DLCs. You want to know the reason why they didn't?
Yeah.
Everyone left.
Oh, the whole company. Yeah, I remember you saying something about that.
They literally had plans to make the best DLCs they could have possibly made that would have made Wonderlands go from an empty game to a completely publicized game. It could have been so good, but who's gonna play the DLC if no one's playing the game?
Exactly, yeah.
It upset me so much. The community gave up on the game.
Well, that's kind of what
fast.
I was saying too about Diablo. If they don't fix it, who's gonna? If they finally fix it, but no one's playing the game, it's gonna be an issue. But yeah, continue. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But I mean, at the same time, like the Wonderlands community, the Borderlands community, it is a big community. But yet again, Diablo has one of the biggest gaming titles in the world, and I don't think
It's right
that
up there with WoW.
its community. What?
It's right up there with WoW.
Yeah, I don't think that gaming community is going to die off within 3 months, maybe not even a year. It might take 2 to 3 years before that starts to happen. So
Well, you're also
Blizzard
talking
has
a bunch of.
time.
The only issue I have with that argument is they aim towards casual, and a lot of these casual players never even played a Diablo game before.
Yeah, that's exactly the next point I was just about to get to. Is the issue is that they need to stop listening to the hardcore streamers on Twitch that are
Yeah.
breaking damage caps, just finding new builds, and just nuking everything. And they need to be like, okay, if I'm gonna play the game, I need to start fresh, not use my modded cheatsy stuff because I'm a developer and I get those benefits. I need to play through my own game, and I need to actually play as if I'm a new person, not understand what I'm doing, and actually learn the game.
Blows my mind.
They're gonna
It's like
struggle.
that's what blows my mind is I know you and I, like all three of us, know how Destiny seasons. I mean, not Destiny. Diablo seasons work, but I was like so shocked to know how many people don't.
Did you know that the very first season we played together was my very first season?
Yeah, I remember you saying that, but you knew how it worked. You had an idea.
No, I had no idea.
Oh, really? Okay.
I went into there completely fresh.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Maybe you told me, but I totally forgot.
I even knew how they work. I just never did them.
I didn't know how they worked. I didn't even understand what a seasonal character was.
I've done a season before. E, can you heal me, please?
I think they also changed a lot of stuff.
Thank you.
To be honest,
They did.
Because when we started playing it, that's when you did the seasonal journey and you got a set gear, and that set gear was OP as shit. I don't think it was like that at first.
Any help? Heal me, please. Heal me. Heal me.
I'm close enough,
But when I first played Diablo 3 with you guys, before that point, the only experience I had with Diablo was I had a non-seasonal witch doctor that was level 40.
Oh, yeah.
That was it.
Wow, you didn't play it that much? Really?
Yep.
I had no idea.
I was more new to Diablo, and I thought that the witch doctor was just the crappiest character. And going back and replaying through it, yeah, I like the witch doctor a lot more.
Yeah, the witch doctor is nice, actually. Oh god, this boss is on my ass. Well, what? What happened?
He fell off the side, goddammit. Okay, I think I can do this.
How did I die? It was a 2-inch drop.
I think I got it. I think I got it. Greedy, I'm getting greedy.
All the seasonal armor sets from both of you, and I learned how to do the stats because of both of you.
Sorry. Yeah, Mary was saying, Instant Fury was saying Dying Light 1 was greater than, was it better than Dying Light 2, pretty much. That's very true. Dying Light 2 fucking sucked on the pooch's butthole.
I think what upset me...
They're good games.
I think what upset me with Battlefront 2, the new one, is it didn't have as many game modes as the first one.
Ah, yeah.
Because the original Battlefront 2, it had the Conquest mode, and that was my favorite thing. Because you're battling another ship, and you're taking over territories and whatnot, and you get buffs and stuff. That was so fun.
You talking about the original or the remake?
The original.
Okay, yeah, those are my favorite back on the original Xbox. And,
yeah.
Oh my god.
And Battlefront 2, the remake, it didn't have that spark for me, and I couldn't get into it. I played it for one day, and
even
there was just 2 game modes, and I was like, that's not fun.
Well, the thing is, what I was saying is the game was Battlefront 2, the newer one, was a shit fest of a game, but they have all that stuff in this new game now. Yeah. It is actually really good.
Yeah,
I heard phenomenal.
They fixed it up a lot. I still don't see the charm in the game compared to the original, but that could be biased opinion because that's the one.
Well, that's also, you heard a lot of bad shit for years about it, probably too. And
yeah.
What's the point of going into paying that much money for a game that has a bad reputation? Fuck.
That, and it's also EA.
Yeah, EA. Well, they have their their gems every once in a while. Didn't they make the Star Wars game, the new one?
I honestly haven't really purchased any of those.
I have.
Yeah, EA. I think EA was the one.
Shadow Survivors,
one,
right?
Yeah. What is it? Yeah, and I really liked the game. It launched terrible on PC. PS5, if you did. So the problem is a lot of people play performance mode, and it was fucked on performance mode. On
I play in performance mode. I can give a shit about graphics.
I know. Well, a lot of people do that, but the problem is performance mode was bugged, and it was trash. And I had quality mode. I didn't have any problems.
This is bullshit.
I had no frame rate issues.
This boss is bullshit.
Dude, it's just he's so powerful. He one-shots me.
He doesn't one-shot me, but he gets close. He gets like three shots. I'm dead.
If he, I think he like throws 3 daggers in one attack. If he hits me with all 3, I die.
Hey,
If I get hit by 2, I survive with a little silver.
Let's finish off our talk about Wonderlands then. Let's start off back with Wonderlands, because that's something we played all together, and we had a good time with.
Yeah, personally, like, we had a lot of...
Oh my god, he won't let me do
That was a lot of fun. I think where we ran into the issue was the first DLC.
Wow.
I would
Maybe a little
say,
before that.
I would say the second DLC is where the problem began, because they did the same thing that they did in the first DLC. Like, they didn't learn to do something different. Like, they just basically didn't take in the backlash from the first DLC.
Yeah. Well, I was still disappointed in the first DLC, personally.
Yeah, the first one was disappointing, but I feel like the second one is where the issue started. Because then we had a third DLC, same thing again.
I didn't even buy the third one, the second or the third.
I think I had the second one, but I didn't get any more after that because it was just the DLCs were underwhelming and so expensive.
The third and the fourth DLCs have a lot better items than the first two, by far. Like, there's no competition with the items. You want those DLCs more than the first two. But issue being, it's the same exact content as the first 2 DLCs. You run a dungeon for 5 minutes, that is it.
I think, well, as I was saying, like, the base game was really good. I mean, there was some cringe shit in it, but that was whatever. It was still funny.
That's gonna be in every Lands game. So.
Yeah, I just think the writing was a little off.
Exactly.
This one was a little more woke than the rest, but that was fine with it's whatever.
It has more cringe, but I mean, every single game has
the other ones had cringe
something that you just look at and you're like, no.
It's like I can't get in my mind the whole what was it, the whole lesbian scene with the dwarf or whatever it was for flower mission.
Remember.
It's like in the beginning of the game. It's like really close to the beginning of the game. It made me like drop my mouth. It's like, oh my god. What the fuck?
I mean, at least Gearbox is now being more considerate.
Yeah, that's true. God, these knives are bullshit. Thank you for that. You saved my fucking ass.
That was actually pretty intelligent in the game because it shows they care about every kind of community. And so...
The weapon's fast. It's really fucking dumb.
Where's this guy at? I can't...
What I think should happen with gaming is a lot of, like, game developers are running out of ideas, hence why I said it's a good thing they're going to be hiring new ones. But what I feel like they're missing is taking an idea from one other game and tweaking that idea and applying it to your game to make it special for that.
Yeah. Everyone's losing originality.
Because what's going on here is you guys have played Risk of Rain 2 at all, right? Risk of Rain 2 has an item called Dio's best friend, and when you die, it automatically revives you and consumes the item. What?
Oh, keep talking. I just need to do something.
Oh. But once you die, it consumes this item and it revives you. It's a legendary.
Mm-hmm.
I personally didn't like that item in particular. I wish that instead of having a legendary that's only use is to revive you upon death once, is making an active item where you hold it in one of your special slots, and instead you go into fight for your life mode, just like with Borderlands, and you have like 10 seconds, but you don't get to kill stuff and revive. So solo it's useless, but with like teammates, they have a chance of reviving you, and it won't consume your item.
No, yeah,
Something
I like
like
those kind of
that would be
things.
so intelligent.
Yeah, what I was saying is like I just think we're coming to the issue is where we're getting all these like all the game creators we grew up with that made the great games are all leaving.
Yeah.
And then we're getting all
Those
this
were the
new
people that had
crew.
the brilliant minds that just like,
We
here's
don't
an
have
idea.
brilliant minds anymore. We're getting all these kids just coming out of college that have, they have ideas, but there's nothing new about their ideas. Their creativity, they want to have it, but they just don't have it. And they don't have the experience, like you were saying. They just don't have the experience of how to make a game. And then they
Another
have these
thing that I've
bosses that
noticed
are,
is
oh shit.
a lot of the
Hey.
stuff that I've noticed for like balance changes, and where I feel like they're going wrong here is a lot of the people that like are testing out the game and whatnot, like, because obviously every game company is supposed to playtest a game before they release it. That is by law, you have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're spending enough time doing that, and I think they're hiring the wrong kind of testers for that kind of job.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
you get someone like a big Twitch streamer like Moxie, for an example here, and he was the biggest Borderlands 3 uh video game tester kind of player. He tests every mechanic, every skill. He does like the math formulas and whatnot. He knows almost every damage instance you could do with certain skills and items. Someone like that would be perfect for doing like video game testing before releasing the game, because he'll go into any mechanic and he'll test every little thing. And then they can adjust accordingly how much damage each thing should be. But instead, they're just using their own small development team.
Well, that's the thing. It's very biased. When they're using their own.
I don't think
no, not you.
him.
Not you. I'm saying that when they use their own people, it's very biased. They're gonna say whatever their bosses want them to say. So they get paid. If they don't, they say the game's shit, they get fired.
I don't think like Moxie should be the one in particular. I'm just like, as an example, people like him who test all these mechanics, they would be so good for the job. And the companies are just being biased towards their own people instead of looking at these people who are doing the testing better than they are. And it's just like, why aren't you hiring these people?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I also think that it's possible that that the work environment and the money you make isn't as good as it used to be. Especially as compared to how much money they make off of these games.
I can understand the circumstances as to why Borderlands 3 launched so terribly because of COVID. A lot of work equipment was damaged, so fully understandable its launching condition. It was upsetting. But something like Diablo, because I do agree it should have launched better than what it is, which it is incredible how it launched.
They had a long time to bake.
Yeah. But it could have been better, is the point. And for what it is incredible. And I do think that the time that it takes to develop a season should have been delayed and like tested more. And I feel like that they're just rushing things out too much, not play testing enough.
No, I don't even know. I honestly don't even know if they play test anymore. It's my
no.
It doesn't even feel like they do. It's just any game these days. I really, the only game I could think of that came out this.
I think that's also another thing to look at it. Maybe that's an issue to look at it. Maybe one of the issues it might just be the fact that people are putting the same amount of effort into making these live service games as they do a base game, which is really dog shit. You disconnected from me. You're walking on the cliff in the air.
Yeah, live service games are supposed to take, in my opinion, 5 years. In my opinion, 5 years before you finish the game up and launch it. And then with that being said, you have to keep working.
How long did it take to make Diablo 4?
3 years.
3 years? Is that it?
Yep.
That's not long enough.
Your character just walked through the other fog wall. What the fuck?
We're having an internet. My internet's not being the greatest at the moment.
They should have delayed it for 2 more years.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I'd even take a year, but With Wonderlands, yeah, I think the issue I had was when it came to the it must have been the second DLC. The first DLC we gave it a pass. I was a little frustrated about it personally. I think I was
See,
pretty.
Wonderlands, this is where it upset me the most. Isn't the time it took for them to make the game whatsoever. Should not have been delayed. I feel like the game, even before it was delayed, because that game did have a small delay period, I think it was fine even before that happened. Like, I'm happy that they delayed it, because it made it even better. But when people asked for content within a week,
Of the game's launch, yeah.
that became a problem. Don't ask for content before the casual player base can even beat the game. Come on.
That is a big issue. Is all these
Give them time
people
to fix the game up if it's broken at all.
no
Make it so
touching
it's
grass,
fully smooth, and
no
then
touching
give them time
grass.
to develop the DLCs.
They need just. I wish like this stream would get out there a little more with people. They like what you're saying. The other streamers just need to shut the fuck up. You guys need to
Exactly.
stop saying a game. Diablo. Like we can understand things like little things like bugs and shit, but when it comes to content, just shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
If it's big enough,
Stop asking
if it takes you 70 hours, that is good enough. My opinion, if a dollar for each what is it, an hour for each dollar you pay for a game, and you're having fun with that period, I think it's good enough.
In my opinion, a good healthy game should take about 70 to 80 hours to beat.
Yep, exactly. I lost you, E, so can you rejoin, or I have to go back to town?
Last time I joined you, it was bugged out still.
Let me go back to town real fast.
The only exception to a game taking less time is if it has roguelike mechanics to it.
I haven't really known any roguelike games that really are fucked up, though. Can't really think of any.
That's just because you can just have a different kind of run the next time you play it.
That is true.
Like
yes,
really,
that is
that is a big core element to gaming that is just not being looked at in other games.
I think the problem I have though,
try joining up now.
and that's a me thing. So I'm not saying it's for everyone, but for me, whoops, that's not the one. But for me, it might be a me thing. But like when it comes to, because you mentioned like roguelites or whatever, or rogue game like games, like I only like roguelites when you can make permanent progression at certain points. If you don't make any,
Yeah, I'm gonna reset my game. Hold
well,
up,
because the reason I brought up roguelike was
some random person's team, and why am I naked? What the fuck?
The reason I brought up roguelike was because I was actually thinking of a DLC that Borderlands 3 launched, which was Arms Race.
Yeah.
I don't know how both of you sit with Arms Race. I think the concept.
I don't think I even did the concept.
I don't even know if I played it, to be honest.
Oh, you guys probably would not like it very much, but the reason why is because they didn't do anything to it other than add a nerf to the game because of it.
No.
They had a really good concept here with Arms Race. So basically, think of Fortnite, or just an example here. Think of Fortnite, right? You have like the shrinking void in your safe area, and you have to do stuff within a time limit before this void kills you. And what you want to do is you want to go into the center, get strong enough, and kill the boss in the center.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you have to go to the outskirts, get all the items, and get strong enough to get to the center.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's the main concept here. Really brilliant idea. It starts you off with no skill points. You don't get any skill points. You don't get any guardian rank. You don't get any guns. You have to find all your guns and whatnot. It basically like creates a fresh new game for your character. Now that's perfect. That would be perfect for roguelike features. What they could have done here, they could have improved on this idea by making it so upon getting a certain amount of elite kills, you get a random skill from a random character or an ability from a random character. And, like they could have done something really fun and tacky like that to change it up. And the guns that you get in Arms Race, when you extract them, will go to the base game.
Huh. Yeah.
Because that is a normal feature. Like, if you get something like a conference call in Arms Race, you can extract it, and it'll get sent to your bank outside of arms
Well,
race.
you know what
need
game
to
it does that right
go
now?
back.
That we've been playing, E and I've been playing. That does that.
What?
Halls of Torment.
Never heard of it.
Halls of Torment. If you play, it's Vampire Survivors.
I also never heard of it.
What?
All
You
right.
need to play those games. I mean, they're
cheap.
kind of old, like
They're like $1.
cheap, but they are fun as shit.
So pretty
Like,
much it's a
I think
roguelike-ish.
Vampire Survivors, I want to say, is like maybe $10 to $15 if you buy all the DLC.
No,
And,
no, it's not even that much.
Are you sure?
It's it's like $2.99 or $3.99, and then each DLC is like $1.99.
The last DLC was $3. I just bought it.
I got it for $1.
I had to pay $3.
What's upsetting with the arms race thing is the one nerf that they brought to arms race. Okay, so arms race is scaled way weaker than the base game of Borderlands 3 because you don't have skill points, you don't have guardian rank. You basically have your character and you have a gun and a shield. That is it. And so enemies are toned down way so much more to be on balance with you. It's like you're playing a fresh character and you don't get to have those things. Flack doesn't even get to have his pet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's a brilliant idea. I loved it. But the nerf that they did is weird. They connected the damage of the guns from the base game to arms race. And so they decided to make a nerf to Tediore because it was too strong for arms race. Now here's the issue. Here's the issue. Gearbox and nerfs do not mix. They nerfed Tediore by like 80% damage, and in the base game, Tediores don't do anything. If you ever play Borderlands 3 again, pick up
I haven't played in a long
gun and
time.
throw it at an enemy, and it's gonna do no damage.
Yeah, I haven't. I know Tediore in Wonderlands is pretty good.
Yes.
It's actually probably the meta guns, to be honest, because you get all the.
It is.
Yeah, I just can't remember much Borderlands. I know the story and stuff, but I can't remember how the guns were.
The concept for arms race was so good, and it opened up so many opportunities that are never going to exist in future games because of that Tediore nerf, and now everyone in the community hates arms race. And when a community doesn't like something, guess what the devs are gonna do?
They're gonna fix it.
They're gonna
Yeah.
end it.
People, I think a lot of people, it's like even we're have an opinion on games. It's like honestly no better, but we are gamers. We are these days we are the minority of people that know what we're talking about in a way.
Oh my god, it's gods.
But one of the problem is they listen too much to the minority of us and don't really care what gaming fun. What's the problem is gaming has gone to a place where it's like a job.
Yeah.
Hence why
That's
they want to bring the
because-
metaverse into existence, because they want you to be even more of a job. Money.
That's because some of the streamers nowadays, that literally is their job.
What's
Playing
like
these games pays their bills because people donate to them and they want to see them play it more, so they keep donating if they play it. And it's like, that's not what gaming should be.
No. Gaming isn't about one person, it's about a unit. You know, you're not gonna make everyone happy, of course, but
There's always gonna be someone who doesn't like something that someone else likes, and that's understandable. There's different kinds.
just don't play that game. That's all I gotta say. If they don't like it, if it was that way, just don't play the game.
Exactly.
They wanna make all these games, these like all the Diablos of the world or anything like that. They want to make it for everybody, which is impossible. That's why it has a rating. It's not for everybody.
Exactly.
Fuck. Keep finish him off. Finish his ass off. Finish him off. Why isn't my gun shooting? Oh my god, thank you.
I've been having some weird shit like that.
What upset me with Diablo is the way that they went about the damage formula in that game makes no sense to me because early game characters, to experienced players, it's not a problem. But if you're a casual person who doesn't know what vulnerable is, you don't know what overpower is, it doesn't matter what character you play. You could play the strongest character for early game and end game. Okay, if the Barbarian's Whirlwind didn't require Fury as an example here, if it never required Fury, you could just spin forever. Just an example here. Even that would not help a casual player because the enemies in the first 2 world tiers have so much health that unless you know what damage instances you need to kill those enemies, you're gonna do no damage.
Well, that's what they make it too
gonna
complicated. It's just too
I've
fucking
never
complicated.
experienced that myself, but I've only played 2 classes, so
Dude, that boss took us like an hour to do.
that boss was awful.
Here's some over here.
I don't know. I think
knowing what like mechanics you
I
need
think
to do
the
is
thing
important,
that's
but there's
annoying
too
is
many
like you have the vulnerable damage, for example. The problem with vulnerable damage is either A, it's just too powerful, or B, there's not enough ways to apply it. It shouldn't just be in one skill tree of your fucking character. Like, I have a sorceress. I'm a thunder build. I can't do vulnerable damage because I don't want to do ice.
And you
So
you can't
I'm just nerd.
and you can't kill Uber Lilith because you're playing the build you want to play.
If you have like freaking an enchantment, I think enchantment for a sorceress, one of them should do vulnerable damage. So that way, at least that way, I don't have to use a certain spell. I might need to have it. Like if it was an ice spell that I could do an enchantment and it would give me vulnerable damage, and I could just use all electric abilities, that would be better. But it doesn't exist.
Oh, is this
the
another
way
boss?
that I feel like they should go about this, because you have so many different types. You have like overpower damage, vulnerable damage, lucky hit chance as like a stat. I feel like,
another boss.
and
Sucks.
hear me out with this. I feel like all these stats should just be built into the characters rather than having to use certain skills.
No, I totally agree with that. Like each class should have their thing they specialize at.
But
right?
with that being said, sort of, not quite. I feel like vulnerable and overpower and lucky hit chance should be built into every character. Like just those 3 common stats should be built into every single character. But here's the thing. I do think that vulnerable damage should be not multiplicative, should be single stat based. And I feel like the chances should be increased and the damage should be decreased.
Yeah, I agree with that. That just stomach things.
Another way to look at it for me is if they want it to be multiplicative and they don't change that, the only way I feel like they could change it is they need a universal legendary aspect that makes you have
Fuck.
That's what they need.
That's why I said it should be built into every character, because you also get the passive stats on your gear that increase those particular things. So I don't think the aspect should be a way to fix it. I feel like just a core stat increase with a damage stat decrease would be a better way to fix it.
I'm just saying, like, the problem is a lot of the legendary shit is very, I don't know. I feel like there's just not that many options.
It feels like, in a way to me, it feels like they took the idea of seasonal gear from Diablo 3 and just broke down everything to individual pieces of legendary.
Yeah, I mean, I technically really haven't played it, so I'm just listening, but the thing is that coming from a guy from the mindset of somebody looking into the game, hasn't bought it, or hasn't played it, it doesn't really make me want to buy the game. I was going to buy it, then life happened, I had to go work and stuff, so I was like, I'll just pick it up later. And then all the stuff started happening, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy it now. But also there's people's opinions. I was listening to a lot of people's opinions, but also reading, watching videos, like, man, this game has really lost its identity right now. I don't know if I want to buy it right now.
Personally, what I would recommend anyone do in terms of considering Diablo 4 is
Console.
wait one. Well, not that, but wait one week. No, wait 1 week after season 2, and see what happens.
Yeah,
watch the reviews after season 2.
Yeah, if you're on the fence, listen to what Bailey has to say. That's definitely, I agree with that 100%. These guys are healthy.
Because a lot of changes are going to happen during season 2, and until we know how the game's going to feel in that spot, season 2 is supposed to be the upridge of the game, fixing all the problems. So wait 1 week, watch the reviews, watch what people are saying about it, and then make your decision.
I'm not sure if they're going to have it completely done by season 2. I feel
No,
like
it's not going to be completely done. The game is never going to be
well,
next.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, I feel like a lot of the things that they need to work on that is everything. I feel like it's not going to be, from what they've said, from what I've heard, it's not going to be near complete till season 3.
Well, even then, like, season 2 is going to be a big jump to at least making people consider wanting to buy it. Because right now, a new person looking at the game, it's not going to look very fun in season 1. But in season 2, it might be completely different, to the point where it's at least worth the money. Which is why I'm saying wait for season 2 and watch the reviews, because right now the reviews have dropped down by a whole number percentage within a week, which is huge.
Yeah, an
that
update
is
really,
bad.
yeah.
A 5-star game going to a 4-star game in a week. That is bad.
I don't even know if I've really heard that happening very much.
I don't think that's ever happened.
I think that's why there's so much talk about it.
But season 2 should be a number difference going from 4-star back to 5. And I don't know if this is like out of 7-star, out of 10-star. I don't know that. But the fact that they lost a whole number in a week is huge. And season 2 is supposed to fix that. There's still going to be problems. Just like constantly throughout all the seasons, there's going to be things that change, and it'll constantly keep getting better. But season 2 is supposed to be a big ridge.
Yeah, let's hope it does. I mean, I want it to succeed. I'm a Diablo fan. The whole thing with modern gaming, all the stream is about. I just don't have a lot of faith in that concept anymore. Let's hope it does. I mean, the games have turned around before, so it's quite possible that they will save themselves.
Personally, I didn't think that I had high hopes for Diablo 4 at launch. Like, I was one of the most hopeful people for it. The expectations that I had for
I was not.
The expectations I had for Diablo were actually blown away with its launch. It launched better than what I even thought.
Yeah, it was a good launch.
And with that being said, I thought very highly that the game was going to succeed.
I mean, it still can, but...
Yeah.
I was just hoping the damage isn't done by
then. I spoke about the game, and I can't wait to see it.
I know we butted heads a little bit on that.
Yeah.
You aren't wrong, and I guess both of us aren't wrong in a way.
The game launched way better than I expected it to, and with that being said, I knew it was going to launch good.
Yeah.
It's no longer an issue of how it launched. It is now an issue of the devs just need to stop listening to other people, and they need to make their game the way they want.
Well, that is the issue. Is they just the whole nerfing stuff. Like they even do it in Elden Ring, where you just nerf stuff. There's no reason. Like in Elden Ring, for example, I had to redo my whole entire builds because they ruined them, and it took me.
Oh yeah, that happened to me too. I mean, I kind of had a cheap build, but it was so fun, and then they just nerfed it, and it fucked everything up for a while.
With the nerfs, I can understand Shred being nerfed because they didn't intend for people to hit 1.8 billion damage. That's a bit
crazy.
ridiculous.
I think
that was also a bug. I don't think it was like an actual intended mechanic. So I can understand that.
But the thing is Fortify had a nerf. The Barbarian had a nerf. I don't understand that one at all.
Oh, Barbarian got nerfed so hard all the time.
I know.
Reason. Like, I felt bad for, and I usually a Barbarian, but I wasn't, so I didn't feel it. But if I picked my Barbarian like I wanted to, I would have been so pissed.
What really confused me was the Sorcerer gun.
Oh, you want to know what's really confusing? Is the fact that every class has been nerfed in the ground and it's like really awful, except for fucking rogues. For whatever reason, they must love rogues.
Oh no, they had a nerf too. Not one that affects meta stuff.
Not enough. Like it did barely anything compared to all the other classes.
But their nerf wasn't meta. It was a non-meta item. Yeah, it was something that was already struggling.
Like literally, rogues have always been top tier. They've never not been top tier.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I think one of the big issues I have with the game is they lied about play it the way you want to play. It's like you can't play the way you want to play in that game.
That's just because some of the skills are just too weak to kill stuff. Unless you cater a whole build with all your gear to one item, which is annoying. But no, there will be nerfs every single season. They want one class to build.
I mean, they did promise it's not going to be that significant again, so we'll see.
Yeah. But even Diablo 3, there's always going to be nerfs to every class, except for one class is going to get buffed because they want that class to be the strong one for the season. Like, that's a normal thing. Diablo 3 does that. Diablo 2 did.
Oh, yeah.
Diablo 1 did.
It's always going to be there. Every game that has live service is going to have it.
Yeah.
Even on live service.
But the extent of the nerfs matters. Yeah. Don't give barbarians a 40% damage in every global way possible. All their skills. That is too much.
I think another issue that they have when it comes to like builds and characters and stuff, I think the biggest issue is it's not the fact that there's difference, like something's more powerful than something else. That's not an issue. I get it. No, you don't want everything to be the same. But the problem is you shouldn't have one build be like the meta build that's OP as fuck, and then every other build be like a 10% of the damage.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's ridiculous. The distance between builds is just way too great. It should be way closer.
That is what Season 2 is trying to fix. Because they've buffed they're going to buff. They've announced what they're buffing.
Oh my god.
All the non-meta skills are getting buffed. Every single one.
I mean, I would prefer that, to be honest. Oh, thank you. Fucking die.
I don't think he's all dead, that's just one.
No, but this is fucking Mount is dead.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be like Bornstein and Smoke and shit.
Oh god. What's he gonna make?
They're giving a nice global buff to all the basic attacks, which is huge because they all suck.
I think he gets up for cutting off the thing's tail, though.
Oh, he gets all his health back, or what?
Oh, he did. Fuck off.
It's a Bornstein and Smoke bullshit. I think,
Hornstein and Smo.
I feel like Diablo 4 just needs to look at another game and just take some concepts from it and apply it to their game.
Well, of course, they kind of did,
so it's not just copy paste. But I mean, they have, but they're taking ideas from the wrong kind of game.
Yeah. It's a hard one. I think that's why everyone's so upset, because Diablo is such a beloved game. It's just, I mean, I don't know. I don't know much more I could say about it.
I'll take an example here. Borderlands. There's no similarities between Borderlands and Diablo whatsoever. But here's something that would be amazing, a concept from Borderlands, doesn't matter which one, that could fit.
Well, I guess loot could be the same, but
maybe.
They're both looters.
Here's one concept you could take from Borderlands, any of them, even Borderlands, and apply it to Diablo, is passive health regeneration.
Yeah.
Not everyone in the world likes lifesteal or life per hit.
Well, they have that in Diablo.
They have the region in there. It's just it's so little. Like in Endgame,
Was that the world boss?
Shit.
Yeah, but there's only one
think
thing for
so.
health regen,
Was it?
which is horrible.
No, that was not the world boss. What the fuck?
That must have been the world
Oh
boss.
no, it's not. And there was another path that we didn't take. I'm pretty sure that couldn't have been the world boss. That's
And another
either that or we need to do campaign shit because maybe they didn't count as campaign then.
Another mechanic that would save a lot of people a lot of time is one-shot survivability. I don't remember what the word is. The inability to get one shot. It would send you down to 10% of your health.
One-shot mechanics by bosses or enemies.
Yeah, from like anything.
I mean, I'm fine with one attack doing that, but not
health gating. That's what the word is.
Yeah.
Basically, nothing can one-shot you in a single instance of damage. You can
well, there's a lot of games that have that, but
yeah, I wanted to use Borderlands as an example.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
Or even something like having a shield. I know that's what barrier is, but barrier's not fun to get in a lot.
We didn't explore the whole area.
No, I'm just going back to because we had something to trade in.
Oh.
I think we got something to trade in.
We got 2 items actually. From the last boss and this boss.
Oh, you know what actually really upsets me?
Hmm.
Borderlands the pre-sequel, one of the most hated games in its franchise, has one of the best and smartest ideas in the game, period. Glitch weapons.
Yeah. I remember that.
The weapons that have secret buffs when you reload, like you could have a damage increase, a fire increase, no reload. That was intelligent. That was smart. Or even the Loonshine weapons that have the secret buffs, like if you get this particular gun, it might have a 10% XP buff on kill. That was intelligent.
Oh, there's Fan of Knives. That was the ability he was talking about. Oh well.
Anything you need?
No, they. Yeah, I agree with you. It's like didn't some of those glitch weapons have like bad perks too, which were interesting.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of good and bad perks for each one.
They were still interesting though. I remember that. I'm thinking to level this weapon up and see how it works. I have enough resources.
There was a rocket launcher I had, and no fire rate on rocket launchers in the pre-sequel is a very fast way to kill yourself.
Be safe.
Well, I remember in Warframe when they made the rockets kill you.
So the funny thing with that's actually how the game launched, and then they removed self-damage, and then they re-added it back into the game.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. I remember when I went back to the game one point, and then I was killing myself because my Tom core was blowing me up. Like, holy shit. I remember when you only get 4 lives a day.
I don't understand why they re-added that, because the reason that got removed in the first place was because people were playing as Rhino. They were shooting their feet, hurting their health 10%, because Rhino has like a weird passive or an ability that the lower their health, the higher their damage is, and then they would just one-shot Eidolons.
Rhino?
Which is, yeah.
Oh, I can't remember that. I used to play Rhino.
And they would one-shot like
only.
raid bosses and stuff, and it's just like, why would you add the ability for them to do this again?
Well, Rhino's not even playable anymore, right? Does he do that now?
Probably. I mean, the mechanic is once again back into the game, so.
Huh. All right. Well, guess I'll have to go check it out and see exactly. I haven't played in such a long time. But I used to absolutely love Warframe. Granted, I put a lot of money into that game. I'm not gonna lie.
I spent almost 10 years playing it, and I'm so upset that I will never play it again.
Oh shit. I'll say I played about 7 years. Which path did we not take, E? It looks like we took them all.
My screen's all black on this shit.
Mine's all showing up that we did everything.
Like it says I haven't been here.
It's probably because we got disconnected. Yeah, we did everything.
even before we got disconnected, there was a path we didn't take when I was looking.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. Everything is showing that we went there.
I'm trying to see if I can figure out where it goes.
I mean, granted, it's about the size. We did two bosses. That's about the average. I mean, usually there's an event, but
Well, then we're not like getting credit for the campaign. So did I there?
well, the problem with that is
I don't know.
the problem with that is I haven't even touched the campaign with this character.
I'm pretty sure I finished it. So, but I don't know how to.
I did it with you, but it doesn't count for me. But yeah, there's another game I want to talk about. Have you played Elden Ring, Bailey?
I have a friend who's obsessed with it, so I heard a lot about it, but no, I've never played it.
Well, I'm gonna start with this one because I want to make more content about it since people are having issues with it. So funny thing or not, E and I pre-ordered the game. We played it launch day. We're having a good time. Then was it like an hour? The first time I was like an hour into the game. An hour or two into the game, it like turned off my PlayStation. I was super confused. Super confused what was going on. So like it literally turned off and I had to literally unplug my PlayStation to make it turn back on. So I got back into the game and I realized, oh, I don't have a character anymore. What the fuck? So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's a bug or something. I got upset about it. I was like, oh, fine, whatever. I didn't get very far. I know what I'm doing now. I know how to kill these bosses. I made another character. Same amount of time passes, or maybe less. It happened again. Turned off my PlayStation. Deleted my save. I think I gave it one more attempt after that stream. I did it within 30 minutes of us, me making my new character. Deleting my save. So I lost about 4.5, 5 hours worth of gameplay. So I decided not to play the game anymore for what was like 3 or 4 days. Until I got the PlayStation, PS4. I had the PS4 version. The PS5 came with the PS4 version. Worked just fine. Played the game. Got like 400 hours out of it. Got a platinum trophy. But the issue I have with Elden Ring in general is it came out in a very this is more of a personal thing. It came out in they happened more than just to me. It happened to other people too, where they obviously we get views on it saying this happened to me still.
Did it wipe all your progress?
Yes, it deleted my character, deleted everything.
That's what happened with me in Borderlands 3, and I am so sad.
But this was the game I was so excited for years. It says we can't win here, but we'll go.
You like how I knew exactly what happened?
Yeah, it was terrible, and
so that happened to one of my friends. They played Wonderlands and Borderlands with me. Borderlands 3. All the stuff we did together wiped them clean. I kept my Wonderlands stuff, but my Borderlands 3 stuff got wiped.
Damn. Yeah, we've been here, E.
It says we've been here, not been in the top part, but it's the bottom part.
No, but that's the thing is, like, I was looking for. I think it's ridiculous that that even happens in the first place with modern. But I was so angry with them. I was like, come on. And it was only going to turn my PlayStation to a brick.
The reason why
is they didn't really address it either. They just ignored it. Like,
Yeah,
they kind of
just
fixed
ignored
it
it.
eventually, but they never mentioned it.
Yeah, they never.
The reason why
mentioned
your
it.
stuff got wiped is because there was actually a message that you got when you started up your account on your PlayStation 4, and a lot of people did
It was
not
on
like
PS5.
this
it's
past.
a PS5 issue.
And I know, but listen to this though. Like your PS4 gives you a message that a lot of people miss. It says, "Would you like to save your data to the cloud? Keep in mind you have limited storage." A lot of people did not do this, and because of that, when you swap over to a 5, all of your save data on your account did not go to the cloud.
No, I did this. I did this during stream. I went and did after the second delete. My first delete. I went to the cloud. I played my character. I backed it up for like an hour, and then it got after like an hour after that, it got deleted again. I went to my cloud and it deleted my cloud as well.
Yeah, it corrupted the save file. And then
In that case,
deleted
corruption. I don't know how to deal with corruption, but that is understandable
I'm
why.
dead.
And I did it again. I did it again after that, and it did the same thing again. So it did it twice with the cloud.
When it's corruption, I don't know what's going on with it. There's usually some error with that game particularly.
They said it wasn't. I wasn't the only one. There was some because it wasn't. I honestly don't even know to this day why I did it.
Honestly, I think the issue is it. I mean, I've heard some stories where it happened with other people, but it wasn't as much. Is it felt like a problem that was more on the digital side for some reason?
Yeah.
Because I have a disc drive PS5 and I never had.
Yeah, was this? I have a digital. God fucking damn these guys.
I also have a digital. I've never dealt with corruption, but
no, I never have either.
Similarly to how you lost everything, I did as well. But unlike you, I didn't save my stuff to my cloud on one of my games, and that's why it wiped me on one of them and not the other. And my friend didn't even know about that setting existing, and they lost progress on both their games.
Well, the thing is, like,
the only issue I had it like that with the game was Tom Clancy's Las Vegas 2. I love that game.
It happened to me too. Happened all the time. It happened all the time to me too. I mean, it only took like an hour or two to get back to max rank, but.
Oh no, for me it was more than that because I was getting way above max rank. It was because we kept on unlocking candles.
Yeah, it was prestige.
All that shit.
No, I did too, but I kept doing that. It was like at least once a week it would do that to us.
It was a fun game.
I have it still. I still play it.
And I think it's still broken. They never fixed it. So
well, they don't even have online servers anymore. I'm really upset about that. Otherwise, I'd be playing that right now. But anyway, getting back to personally, I'm biased towards the game just because it did that to me. It made me waste so much time. It made me pay $70 for a game that I couldn't even play. I had to play the PS4 version instead of playing the PS5 version, which is petty, but I still paid for it. And I wanted all the next-gen features and everything. Couldn't. I had to play the PS4 version. So that is a big problem. I just don't think the game was optimized very well for PC and PlayStation 5 digital editions.
I haven't had any issues with mine being digital, outside of me just being dumb and not checking the same.
I did start getting issues because I did it so much to my PlayStation with Elden Ring, it started fucking up other games, but I finally got to work, but...
I feel like that's an issue with Elden Ring, not your system.
No, it was Elden Ring that did it.
Well, no, but it was literally hard crashing. I've never seen a crash like that. I never had it happen on my PS5.
Yeah, I couldn't turn on my thing. It bricked it pretty much.
I think I had a couple times where it did that. My Xbox happened, and I don't like my Xbox for that reason.
I saw an article where that particular game was breaking global.
Yeah, the problem, and that's the thing, and the problem is they never acknowledged it. I guess they fixed it. I imagine.
As far as I know. There's a news article out there, but as far as I know, I'm the only person on YouTube that has a video on it showing what is happening.
But
that's why I made it.
Yeah, but that's not a console error. That is the game developers of Elden Ring.
That's what I'm saying. That's why.
Affecting his console though is the problem.
It almost bricked. It almost bricked my console.
When they developed that game, they didn't develop it to be friendly for future consoles, and so when one released, it broke. And so they had to work together to fix the problem.
It's like, I think it was a phenomenal game, but with that, I can't give it a 10 out of 10. I have to get it a 6 out of 10. Just because it's still an issue. It may not be the same kind of issues like all these other games are having, but it's still a major issue. That is inability to play the stuff you paid for. It doesn't matter if it's a PS5 version or PS4 version. If you can't pay what you physically play what you paid for, it is a problem. And I couldn't get a refund. I tried to get a refund. I couldn't get it because I bought it digitally and I played more than 2 hours. Granted, I probably should have done it the first time, but I wanted to give it a benefit of the doubt after the first time. Like, oh, maybe it was just my PlayStation. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I did something wrong. So I made sure that I did everything right the second go through, and it still happened. Happened again, and it happened about 4 times. So altogether, off stream too, altogether, I lost about 10 hours of gameplay just because I was so stubborn.
That's actually a problem with PlayStation, to be honest, that I'm kind of irritated about. Is I don't think it matters if you played it or not. Like, people can pre-order games and you can't get your money back if you decide not to. PlayStation's kind of, that's the one bad thing about PlayStation.
The only way you can is if you call your card handler and do a lot of bullshit.
No, I've gotten refunds on PlayStation. It's just the rule is it has to be within 14 days. You can only have like an hour of gameplay on it or something like that.
But not everyone can do that.
Not
They
not
don't
yeah.
everyone.
Refund over with PlayStation.
It's not every game. You're correct. It's only certain ones. But I've gotten refunds before. But Elden Ring I couldn't because it was a AAA title. Indie games they're a little easier on. Steam is better at it, but I think Steam you still only.
It's like 4 hours. I don't know. It's an hour, but maybe 2 to 4 hours.
It's 2 hours, I believe. But the problem is, most people don't know they like a game if 2 hours is a little less time than it needs, personally. But how was your experience in that game, E? How did you enjoy Elden Ring?
Oh, I never had any problems. It was fun for me.
It was a great game.
Other than the fact that they nerfed that one build I had that I really liked.
That was really annoying. The shield build we used.
Yeah, that shield build was
it was so OP.
Amazing.
It was so fun.
And that was not a bug, in my opinion. It worked as intended. It was OP.
This is why, if I ever discover a build on a game, and I'm not like a YouTuber or a streamer,
because they made videos on it.
Yeah, if you're a content creator and you find a really
I can't see shit
that you don't want nerfed, then don't post it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that frost is horrible. I can't see jack shit.
Yeah, that frost is pretty bad.
God, it's not going away. What do I have to do to get rid of it? It's still there. What the fuck? I don't have any frost stuff on me.
It goes away eventually, but it takes a while.
I think we did everything here. I think we're just gonna have to.
We have to figure out who the campaign if that's the case then, because this isn't the campaign.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do the campaign. That's the one thing that annoys me. I'll admit it's not my favorite thing, and it comes. I mean, Dark Souls wasn't as bad, but I'll admit Dark Souls is one of the games that does it as well. Is when you have campaigns that you pay for, and how the fuck do you access them? Some arbitrary, weird-ass bullshit just to get into it.
Well, I guess that's one thing I could say about Resident Evil 4 Remake. It wasn't very clear, so I pre-ordered the bitch. It didn't tell me I had to go download all the pre-order shit because it wasn't in the store. I had to literally go into the game files itself to find it. All the cases and stuff. So I went through the whole game like 4 times without even knowing I had the shit. And it would have helped me a lot. At least on money, fuck. These guys suck. But what do you guys think is your favorite game of this last year? Of this year?
Honestly, it's a throwback game for me, Minecraft.
Okay, this still counts.
Sorry.
And the only reason is because I got bored of mindless murder in games lately. Like, I just want something peaceful that I can just kind of sit back and not really
It's
play.
not safe.
And Minecraft is a game where you can put it on peaceful and just mindlessly do whatever you want to do.
It's not safe. What the fuck?
Don't do that for me.
Where do I hear this guy? Here he is. Yeah, I honestly never really got into Minecraft. I tried. My buddy builds stuff. He's really good at it. I just never really got into it. I mean, I want to, but
It's not an easy game to get
My
into.
game for that was Terraria. I love Terraria.
I also loved Terraria.
I did I want to say I did like 80% of the mechanics. I wasn't good at the wiring and all that weird shit, but
Oh, I was great at that.
But we played that game. We played most of it. It was fun. I love that game.
If we're talking about those types of games, my favorite is probably 7 Days to Die.
See, that's not the same kind of game to me. Nowhere near.
It's not to me either.
I think it is because it's all about building. Minecraft has a survival mode, which is the base mode, is where you go and survive in the world. There is a free build mode.
It's missing the sim aspect of it. Like, I like Terraria because I can create what I want to create, and I can.
You can create almost pretty much what you want to create in that game too.
You can't change things. You build a fucking fence. Whoop-de-doo. You build a building. Whoop-de-fucking-doo.
In Minecraft, I can build a fence that turns into a dragon.
Okay,
well, we're talking about the skeletons.
Really crazy, but I was in a Terraria where, like, literally you have all the minerals. You can make 50 million different types of windows, 50 million different types of buildings. Like,
but like the point I was trying to make though is like with building a fence, that's it. It's just a fence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't connect it to like certain other things that it should not connect to, like turning a fence into something, or even using a fence in a way that a fence isn't supposed to be used to. Can you make a floating fence?
In 7 Days to Die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can. I feel like that's a glitch. I don't think that's a normal thing.
You can do it the same way you can do in others. It's just you have to go a certain way about it. I mean, you can make fences. You can do electricity.
If it's unintentional or unintended way of doing it, if it's a glitch or something, I won't care.
Yeah. Well, let's say that 7 Days to Die is a more realistic version of Minecraft. It is very complicated as well. Maybe not as complicated as Minecraft, but there is a lot in there that is pretty complicated.
I feel like the realistic feature is why we don't feel like it's the same.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it because there is a risk for reward in that game. You could take a long time to play that game. You can every 7 days, you have to try to build your base up strong enough to survive every 7 days from a horde attacking your base. And if you don't survive, I mean, if you don't take that time wisely, you're gonna get fucked. So there's a stress factor in that game. Like Minecraft, it's more of like at ease kind of play. They're similar in ways and different in others. The skeletons are the same, like like the base skeletons of the game are the same as each other, but one's more. They're just different in some ways. More than one some ways, but they're still considered the same class of game. Survival builder sandbox type game. Like Terraria is 2D. Minecraft is more cartoony 2D. You can do a shit ton.
No. I guess the way I'm seeing it is I don't see as much sandbox aspect in 7 Days to Die.
How much have you guys played? How much have you played of it?
I haven't played any of it, but I've watched a lot of gameplay.
I've played a bit. I don't. The other thing that also hinders it is like it's too survival mode to actually get into the sandbox, even if there is.
That's why I'm saying it doesn't feel like it's sandbox enough because everyone I've ever watched play it.
You get to like day 5 and then you're just fucked. I've never seen anyone get very far.
Versus something like Terraria and Minecraft, you could go 7 real life days without ever seeing an enemy.
I think that's why I like it because I like the. I like the purpose of the game itself. Like it gives me a reason to build. Like the other games don't really seem to do that for me.
The reason to build the other ones is just to build and have fun. You can also go out and do shit if you want, but you can build whatever you want.
Yeah, I think that's the only difference between. Like I'm not saying you guys are wrong whatsoever. It's just the way I don't really play those types of games unless it's a reason to play. Like 7 Days to Die is really the only one I play just because I like zombies. And I want to be building something that means something, like there's a reason to. I know the other games have that too, but I just personally like those better than the other ones.
I have spent 4 weeks on this build, and I'm so proud of what I did.
Well, you have to show us sometime. But
I just opened up the stream real quick.
oh, let me take a look. While I'm looking at his thing, let me know what your favorite game this year was. I'm looking through. You're in Borderlands right now?
What did I spend most of my time playing?
Are you playing Borderlands right now, Bailey?
What's going on?
Are you playing Borderlands right now? Borderlands 3.
What game did I play the most? I mean, I know
Check this out.
Resident Evil 4 Remake was really good. Platinum that game. I loved that game. I even platinum and I did everything. That's impressive for me because I didn't do that in the original.
You got lucky. You got lucky.
Well, actually, I didn't get lucky. I will admit, I will be that person. Everyone can hate me for it. It's fine. I'll take the criticism. But I definitely did the pay to win method. Not gonna lie, that saved my bacon in that game.
You want to
I'm
explain?
not super crazy.
Do you want to explain
because
it?
they made it so you could buy the tickets, so you could upgrade your weapons from the beginning without having to do a bunch of like super grinding with nothing.
I did it without doing it.
Oh, I know you're OP.
It was fucking horrible. But I do say that was my favorite game this year. Was Resident Evil 4.
Really good game. I'm trying to think if there was another game that I played more though, because as fun as that game was and everything, I still didn't play it. I feel like the most. I'm trying to think of what game I played more than anything. I know I played Vampire Survivors a lot. That was really fun. Oh my gosh, I haven't done the new DLC yet, but I did all the other.
I did it. I just did it the other day.
I haven't tried it yet. But I did everything in the game before that. Like I did all the achievements, everything. I loved that game. Hall's Torment's pretty fun. It's similar, and they're going to be adding more content next month or in August.
I don't know if I can really count those as my favorite games, though. The Vampire Survivors.
I mean, they're really fun, but I feel like there's something else that I played that was better. I'm trying to think of what it was. I can't even think of it right now.
Well, I can think of what games we played together. I know we played Monster Hunter Rise.
You know what? Actually, that probably, surprisingly, that might be one of my favorite games. The only thing I'm upset about is it's not on console and it's not the best experience, even on my PC. I had screen tearing and shit, but Monster Hunter Rise was fucking amazing, and I wish we could have continued playing that.
We can still play it.
I'm so out of practice right now, and the end game is so rough in that game. Those monsters were awful.
Well, the nice part about practice, we can just start from the beginning levels and practice that way.
But Monster Hunter Rise was really good. I really enjoyed
Can't remember.
And because
Bailey, do you play
Switch,
that? We have it on PC, so if you end up getting it, get it on PC. I don't remember if you played it or not.
What other games? I'm trying to think if there was something else.
Well, I know Xbox hasn't had any games. Oops, did I say that?
Poor Xbox.
What
Xbox hasn't had
If I
shit.
go on here, I could probably see on here. What new games did I play? I tried Wolong. That game was awful because I can't get past
it. Was
tutorials.
awful.
Apparently, I'm a scrub and I can't even do multiplayer because the game sucks by design. Jedi Survivor was actually really fun. I know a lot of people had problems, but I didn't have any problems, and I really liked that game.
I didn't buy it. I just wasn't interested. I didn't really care for the first one, to be honest.
What else did I play?
Well, I guess Elden Ring was last year's game, but yeah, Elden Ring. Where's our fucking DLC? Where's our DLC? This is the longest we've been.
Like I said, they're gonna come out with Armored Core 6 first, which I don't care about.
I want to try it.
Some people are excited, and the fact that it also has Souls-like elements, that people are kind of excited. But it's not my thing. I don't know. I'm not a mech person. Game. I guess I'm just not a mech gamer. I don't know. What other game? God of War Ragnarok was really good, but I didn't finish it.
I started playing it.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I played the first one and got platinum trigger the first one. That one was really good, so I played that one later. It wasn't this year, but I played it.
Did you get kicked?
Recently. No, I left because I'm trying to figure something out, but I haven't had time to look it up yet.
I'm probably gonna have to stop stream pretty soon because I gotta take care of some kiddos. But is there anything?
Do you see the blast radius of my weapons, though?
Let me look real quick. Let me look real quick. I'm looking. Holy shit. Is this a broken gun? This is a hacked job.
Nope, none of
Oh,
this stuff is
holy
modded.
shit. It looks like it's a modded weapon.
Oh, here's a random game. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I love this game. I haven't played it in a while. I think DLC's come out, so there's probably a lot more for me to do. Because I'm a weird person that plays all sorts of different games. I really like. It's so expensive, though. I'll admit that.
Look
But
through
I
my
really
catalog
like
here.
the new Theatrhythm, the final bar line for the Final Fantasy rhythm game. That game is fucking amazing. I love that game. So much songs in that game, so much content. I spent probably, I want to say, a good 80 hours in that game, and I've only played every song one time, except for the DLC because I don't think it was out yet.
It's a
Alright,
Cuphead.
so Hunk, check this out. The
Yeah.
blast radius of the Unkempt Herald is the same blast radius as the Devil's Foursome. So, this gun's original splash damage radius is supposed to be this.
Yeah. Okay.
Here is a flacker. You both should be familiar with this gun.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap, yeah. That's a
Uh,
good looking gun.
If I kill enemies with it, those explosions get bigger. Let me show you real quick.
Does it kill you?
Yeah.
That sucks.
I've taken some pretty beefy screenshots of some of the biggest explosions you would ever see.
I think those games that I mentioned are probably my picks for this that I played this year. I don't have anything else on my PlayStation, so I guess that's all I've played. Because on PC, I haven't played much at all.
Check out
Damn.
the Iron Bear explosions here.
God
That
damn.
one's kind of covered up, so hold on, let me get a better area.
I haven't even played that class yet, to be honest. My God.
I killed
Took
my
up the whole
Iron Bear,
screen.
and now there's smoke everywhere.
Port 13? That's the main area?
Dude, So when I log into my Elden Ring thing, it shows me I have like 400 plus hours, and on here only says I have 295. Maybe I don't know why it's doing that. It's weird. But I don't know. I guess the moral of the story of the stream is modern gaming kind of sucks. I guess not modern gaming, modern monetization sucks. And it affects gaming in general. But I have a lot of games. I know Cuphead is really fun. I don't know if you guys really played a lot of it. I know E played a little bit on the bachelor party, but
I never played Cuphead, but it's the same kind of game as another one that I used to play,
it's hard.
called the
It's fun.
Animaniacs game.
Oh yeah. I remember Animaniacs.
I used to love those kind of games a lot.
Hades is really good. I'm looking forward to Hades 2.
Alright, here's a good explosion area.
How the fuck?
Jesus. That's crazy. So what is making you get those big explosions?
Oh, that's how you do it. I
I
got
will show you.
kicked offline though for some reason.
Alright, so the way that I'm getting the explosions to be that big is this. It rolled 5 into this skill right here, which increases splash radius by
You got
60%.
16? Is that 10 or 16?
6D.
6D? Holy fuck.
60%
Oh, I
splash
see it.
damage
I see it.
radius. And it has a 30% chance to double the splash damage radius.
Damn.
So it
That
can
is
go up to
crazy.
120. That's just on one thing, though. That's just one skill. Now check this out. The class mod itself also boosts splash damage radius by 37%. And this here, it says area of effect damage is increased by 55%. That also increases splash damage radius.
Damn.
It
Damn.
doesn't say it, but it does.
How much you think?
By 55%.
Oh, 50. It does do the 55. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
In addition, the guns have their own splash damage radius modifiers. The flagger has 210. This gun has 691 splash damage radius.
691.
Yep. And if I
Jesus.
use this gun, I instantly die, and there's no way that I can survive the explosion.
Any range? Holy shit.
Alright, check this out. I will intentionally jump off of the cliff, mid-fall shoot the gun the opposite direction, and I will still die.
It's like a nuke going off. Holy shit.
I cannot live this gun.
You got a second win, though.
Yep.
Alright, well, I'm gonna stop the stream, y'all.
I basically created a splash damage radius build because I wanted to hit enemies across the whole map.
That's nutty. I'll have to go back into the game. I might hit it up tomorrow and look at it after we download it.
Here's a boss fight versus it.
I'm not sure if what we did was still part of the campaign, like the adventure mode of the campaign. No, don't know. Maybe it might have been, not sure. But maybe if we stream again, either this week before I work, I don't know if I'll be able to or not. If we do, though, maybe we can do the DLC later.
Yeah.
Or if we decide to play it before we play Remake 2, but I think I figured out how to do it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be playing Remnant 2 next week.
You keep leaving the ward for weeks at a time.
Yeah, if you are interested in it, Bailey, you should get it with us.
I cannot afford anything right now.
Yeah, we've been in that boat ourselves.
I live off of Social Security. I do not make enough money to just buy a game.
I understand that. No problemo.
So, if you want to play something with me, you're gonna have to wait a bit.
Well, I have other games I could play with you. We got Terraria. We have Borderlands 2, 1, 2, and 3.
See, that's the problem with me, and I'll admit it.
And 4.
This is my own personal thing, and I'll be completely honest. I am somewhat a terrible person, maybe, when it comes to streaming. I don't play games more than once a week. So my games are limited.
Yeah, you only play it once and done.
Usually. Sometimes I go back after, years of not playing something.
For me, that all depends on the game. If I like it enough, I'll play it over and over again.
Same here.
Because, like this game, for example, I'm still playing it. I played this at launch. I pre-ordered this game.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I did pre-order as well, but I can't remember. I know I got it on launch because I love all the Borderlands. But
that
all right,
blast radius can hit things across.
Yeah, I figured out how to do the DLC. It's stupid. There's a reason why we didn't see it. It's a dumb system mechanic that they did for it.
All right.
Well, so in order to do the campaign, you have to go to the the screen where it has campaign, adventure, whatever mode.
Mm-hmm.
You have to push re-roll campaign and then choose it as a separate option.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
just remind me.
I would never want to re-roll my campaign, so I never would go to that menu.
Yeah, I've never done that either. Never.
But right, well. I have a thing. So I guess if we do stream it later and do the DLC, probably for our streaming purposes, if Punk doesn't get mad at me for this, because what I would want to do is I would like to do have him re-roll a campaign, start the DLC so we can have the intro cutscene and see the intro of it, and then join me in my game afterwards.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because the only reason why I say that's because you don't really have campaign progress to begin with anyway.
I don't have any.
It'll if we were going to do that route for you, we'd have to do a whole lot of. But you got your platinum trophy, so you got credit for trophy wise at least.
Yeah, I think I
have a save file for it. But,
yeah, that's strange. I did get my platinum. That's because it's counting the DLC. I have 100% in the main game, 0% in the others.
Yeah, that's me. Well, the Corvus is weird. I don't know why we didn't get. Oh, I think it's because it's all tied to survival mode, which we haven't really played. Which I don't know if it's my thing. It's kind of weird. And then you have to buy all the cosmetic gear. A lot of the trophies for buying the cosmetic gear, which is something
That's gonna take forever.
fragment shit. Yeah, like I don't know if I'm down to do that or worry about that at all. But we do. But I think the campaign is different. We did. I don't think it's. It might be the same snow area. I can't tell, but it definitely is different. There's different bosses. I remember the last boss being something different. So we hopefully we can have a chance to play the campaign and some of this DLC before Revenant 2. If not, maybe we'll do it in the middle of our play. Who knows? We'll figure something out.
All right. Well, guys, I gotta get off. I will. If you guys are available tomorrow, I'll hit you guys up.
I might be available tomorrow. I just have to study for work tests.
All right. Well, hit me up tomorrow, Bailey.
No promises, but I will try.
If you can, yes, if you can. All right, guys. I'm gonna get off.
If you can't, you're dead to me. You're dead to me, Bailey.
Oh, okay, I'm dead
joking.
to you.
I'm joking. You're like, oh, that sucks. Back to me.
Damn.
Guess I'm dead.
All right.
No, I'm just giving you a
I'll catch you guys later.
Thank you guys for watching, everyone.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. I don't know if anyone's here right now, but if you guys watch it later,
It's a few.
we appreciate it. So.
Yeah. All right, guys. Peace. All right. We're gonna stop the stream. We'll catch you guys later. Peace, y'all.